patient. But I do want to say another thing about people when they come in, if they're in grief and when they're in grief. I can sometimes tell what stage of grief they're in because of the energy they project to me. And in this particular case, it was shock. Now, this person's who the loved one had been gone for a little over a year, but they were still in shock. And I told her that. I said, "You're still in shock." I said, "That's why there's the things just are not quite in place yet." So she goes, "Yeah, I'm still in shock." And well, she should have been. It was just a horrible situation, which, was shown to her. So let's go to Melissa in Farmington, New York. So Melissa, are you there?
I am here. How are you?
Fine. Is that in northern New York or where, or western New York? Or where?
Upper Western, between Buffalo and Syracuse.
Upper Western.
Okay. Syracuse. Yep.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So, Melissa, have you been crying? Has there been a situation that's caused you to be crying or very upset lately?
Just finding honest about my workers' comp, what's going on with my nurse career. Yeah.
You have been? Okay. Is there a man involved with this?
Like my boyfriend?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's giving you consolation or something like this. So this is about work. Is this something you're having some issues at work?
I've been out of work since last November for my knee and for my left ankle.
Okay. What is your birth sign?
August 9th.
So are you Virgo or are you Leo?
Leo.
You're Leo. Okay. Well, Leo is starting a new life. I've said this before on the show. I don't know if you listened, but with Pluto entering the sign of Aquarius, you're kind of at the bottom of a new paradigm in your life. So I understand it's very upsetting because you feel like there's nothing, no future ahead in some regards. And I'm so sorry that you're injured. But this is a time to make some goals. Okay. This is a time to work on your health. This is a time for you to allow yourself to recoup and not be very hard on yourself. Okay, because you have ended a major cycle, and you are starting a new cycle. Okay, and this new cycle is going to slowly see you rise because you're at the bottom. Now, if you called me and said, "Oh, I'm rich and famous," well, then I would say, well, maybe you're going to go from riches to rags. But the Pluto influence is a rags to riches. Okay, and so I feel like there's a sense of there's a little bit of depression here. There's a little bit of feeling isolated. But I hope that you won't give up hope because I feel like things are going to start to turn better. You also have Mars right now, which is squaring the sign of Leo, and that's always a stinker. So by next month or so, that's going to be helpful to getting you out of this fog that you're in. Now, do you have any young children around you, or they may not be your own, but others like nieces or nephews or anything like that, or any coming in your life?
The youngest one I have in my life, well, of my own, would be my 14-year-old, but actually I'm watching my granddaughter tomorrow. She just turned 3.
Your granddaughter? You have a granddaughter coming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like that's an area that's going to bring you joy. And it's like I say, I know that the money and everything is a difficult task right now, but this is a time for you to just kind of take a deep breath and just give yourself some time to get resituated or reoriented because you're going to start to build something new for yourself. And it's going to be a slow rise. I don't know. I feel like your boyfriend seems like be a pretty good character and someone who is supportive of you. Is that right?
He's very, very, and he wants me to go to Greece with him and visit where he, has family and yeah. I don't know when I'm in the future. I'm waiting for him to tell me that he loves me, but I know he does. He just.
Well, I mean, if you can go to Greece or you can take some time off, this is a good time for you to do that, to kind of clear your head and to just set the stage for this new life. Because it's like I say, the energy I'm getting from you is that you're kind of beating up on yourself, and you're not blaming yourself for the situation you're in, are you?
Yes and no, because I just feel like, I've been a nurse for 28 years, and I wasn't planning on stopping it anytime soon, but then I got hurt not once but twice, and yes.
The universe is just telling you it's time for a change, okay? And sometimes it's not very kind when it does that. So when that happens, you just have to take some time to kind of let the dust settle, so to speak. But it seems to me your priority is your health and clearing your mind and enjoying your grandchildren. And I think you're lucky to have a supportive partner that's in your life. So you've got lots of positives around you. It's just that the money will come, and you will you'll be much better for it. So I can't tell you that you're going to be mega rich or anything, but I do feel like that over the next few months things are going to start getting better. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. You take care. All right.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about a reading. So a lot of times, by the way, you can see that this was more of a psychic reading that we did for Melissa because the information was more about her. The gentleman I was picking up was her boyfriend. But I was mainly talking more about mediumship in the beginning. But in mediumship, you first pick up, whether it's the gender of someone and then the relationship. And usually husbands and fathers are over the right shoulder, and mothers and wives are over the left shoulder. And then a brother might be just on the side, and a child might be just in front, along with animals like pets. And they will be in front, at least for me, I can only say that. And directly behind you, you may see guides, or you may see angels, and they may be just behind the head or over the head. Now, ancestors are a part of this as well, because ancestors can be just off the shoulder, that to portray themselves as grandparents or great grandparents or even beyond that. Now, another aspect is for me is the distance that a close loved one portrays himself from you. So if they're right on top of your shoulder, right, like over here, then you had a close relationship. If they're a little bit above or they're a little bit on the side, then there may have been some tension there. And if they're way far away, then there could have been some major issues that were between the two of you. So I see that quite a lot. I mean, give you a lesson in mediumship today, but these are the ways that they portray themselves to me, and a lot of times they do it with fragments and things of that nature. So it's fascinating the way it works, and so I'm always happy to teach people how to do these things, or how to recognize it. And that's why I offer my psychic journeys, psychic development classes, and my Sitting with Spirits classes as well. We'll be starting up that new series sometime in August and September, and along with the Monday Astrologer again. So be sure to watch my Facebook page for details on that, and because we'll be taking names of some potential students soon. So let's go to our next caller, Jerry Ann in Alberta, Canada. So Jerry Ann, are you there?
I am.
How are you today?
Good, yourself?
Fine, fine. Jerry Ann, it just seems to me like you're naturally a positive person. Does that make sense?
As I'm growing, absolutely. Becoming more at peace. Right? There was a time where I dwelled in the negative. Oh, yeah. Right?
Everything seemed negative to you at that one time?
Well, everything, right? I always expected worst case scenario. And of course, you put that out there. And what are you going to get?
Yeah. So it just seems to me like you're trying to look at the bright side of things because looking at things negatively just hasn't worked for you.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah. So it just feels like, it's better to have a sense of optimism. A lot of people, especially people my age, they get negative.
I'm getting older,
You're getting more
less.
positive.
I'm learning. Well, yeah.
That's
right?
positive.
Starting, and I'm glad that I caught that little blurb because, I'll see what you have to say to me.
Okay. So Jerry Ann, do you have a mother in spirit?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It feels like you're pretty close to mom. Were you fairly close to mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's with me all the time.
She's with you all the time. Yes.
All the time.
She's letting me know that she thinks you're great. She says that now she's talking about flowers. Are you a gardener, or was she a gardener?
Actually, growing up, my dad had an amazing garden, and I just got a little piece of land of my own, and I'm attempting gardening. And I keep trying to call my dad here because my dad's crossed over. And I keep trying to call him here because, guide me, show me what I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, she just says you have a natural green thumb. Okay. And so you might be like your dad because it seems like your dad was a person that could grow anything. All he had to do was just stick a root in the ground and grow. Does that make sense?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yes.
So your dad's energy is, I don't know, he just seems like a very kind man, a spiritual person. Does that make sense? Was he quiet?
Yeah, but there were things that happened. There were things that happened that his actions that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he may. I'm not saying that that certainly wasn't perfect, but there's something about Dad that makes.
At the end of the day, I got to be the one there to help him cross over, and yeah, it was.
Well, it just seemed
like that day.
At least at the end of life, you drew closer to him. Does that make sense?
Well, on the last day.
On the last day.
Because of things that I had found out, I hadn't seen my dad for over 2 years. He had been in a home, deaf-blind, full-blown Alzheimer's.
Oh my!
Had been in a wheelchair for almost 7 years. And something told me that day, something just wasn't right, and I went and I just couldn't believe that they were keeping my father alive. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I came to peace, and I let him go with peace and unconditional love. And yeah, I made sure every vegetable seed possible, I made sure when he crossed over, he had all those to take with him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just kind of get a good feeling between the two of you. I guess I can delve deeper into this and look and see what deeds he may have done. And that kind of brings me back to some of the last part of what I was going to talk about with the reading. Because in a reading, you pick up the gender, you pick up the relationship, You pick up circumstances on how they pass so many times, and then you pick out some of the things that events between you and Dad. So Dad may have been estranged from the family. Mom and Dad may have had their problems as well. I don't know if Dad drank. It looks like he may have had some behaviors that were
him and my mom were always together. They never split up. He was always apart, but because of the things that happened, it just changed the course of how our family operated.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have to ask you this: was there anything about a fire department in your life, or firemen, or anything like that? I don't know. Was there ever a fire in your life or anything?
No, there was a time in just before I left Medicine Hat for a while and come back, and right before I come back, my roommate quit taking medication or whatever, and I was held at knife point. It took the SWAT team, and it was actually a fireman that come up and finally got me out.
Okay. There's something about a fireman or the fire department or something. So my goodness, that's pretty traumatic to have someone put a knife to your neck and have to have the SWAT team come out. That's just I'm so sorry that happened to you.
I know.
But I'm just
my family thought I was lying about it until they seen it on the national news.
Wow.
So I know that was probably pretty hard for my dad.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that brought it up, and because he was trying to bring in about the firemen, and I thought there was a fire or whatever, but you validated about the firemen rescuing you, so I'm glad about that.
I guess it's his way from the other side of saying sorry for not believing me.
Well, he does believe.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have brought it up. He wouldn't have acknowledged it, right?
That's pretty random.
I thank him for that.
Yeah, that's pretty random. Some guy from Texas is telling someone in Canada.
Right?
So I'm glad that you called, and just know that your parents have done a lot of healing. They're really excited about you and your new property, and I wish you the very best. So we got to grow those flowers fast, I would imagine, in Canada. I don't know how long your summers are. But we have terrible ones.
3 months left anyways.
3 months, okay. We probably have 7.
Yeah, see?
So
maybe I need to move there.
No, well, if you like 100-degree weather, we're getting ready to have that. So, I actually love that. You do? Okay. Well, great. Well, welcome. Yeah. Everybody else come here. Right.
There we go.
So thank you very much, Jerry, and best of luck to you. And I'll hope to hear from you again. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
So we're back here on the show, and as I was telling you that as we do readings, we pick up about 4 different things at first. That just boom, 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 boom. You pick up the gender and so on and so forth. And then as you get into the reading and the spirit or the presence communicates more with you, or they allow more to be revealed, you can pick up more information, because it's like I say, the information about a fireman and this lady in Canada was pretty random, because we had been talking about flowers and we've been talking about different things like that, and then suddenly her father came in and I just started talking about those things, and it was accurate. So I understand there's wiggle room. I understand that there's a little bit of leeway that a client has to give a medium, but these things are not made up. They're real, and people in the spirit world do try to communicate with us, and we have to be open for it. And you can easily dismiss what someone says as a psychic or a medium, because you are the ultimate truth giver, okay? Because we don't know you. We don't have that intimate knowledge of your life. I certainly don't, being in Texas and speaking to someone in Canada. So, but if she would have said, no, there's nothing about a fireman, there's nothing about, then I would have to believe her. But she was kind enough to acknowledge that. And so I like to pick up things that are unique, if possible, because most people drive a car, a lot of people smoke, a lot of people die from cancer, a lot of people, these things, but we want to make sure that we are getting good information. So the show goes fast, and we only have a few seconds left, and I want to just thank our sponsor once again, Miracles of Joy. Go to their website and buy some stuff, and you can use promo code PSO223 and get a discount. Now, this weekend, I'm going to be at Miracles of Joy in Bedford, only on Saturday. I'll be doing readings, and I'll be doing a spirit gallery that evening. If you're in the area, please come by and join us. And otherwise, join us again next week here on the psychic side. Be sure to like my Facebook page and keep up with what I'm doing. I've got lots of stuff going on all the time. And it's always a delight to have you join us here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. So that's about it for me. I'm John Capella. This is the Psychic Side on the A1R Psychic Radio Network. Until next week, bye-bye.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Spiritual Connections with Psychic Medium Cindy. Psychic Medium Cindy. Live from Facebook.com/Psychic Cindy. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Spiritual Connection on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show, and happy first day of summer. Happy summer solstice. I love the solstice. It's like a time for us to reflect, time for us to pause. So over the next few days, when you look at the sun, it looks like it rises and sets in the exact same spot over the next few days. But actually, it was just a little bit. We can't really tell with our naked eye. So that is our sign that we need to kind of set, like pause and reset. For those of you that set intentions in the winter solstice back in December, or maybe set New Year's resolutions, take a look at those. How are they looking? Did they come true? Are they working out? Do they look like they're going to work out? If they are, wonderful. Congratulations, you did it. If they don't, then it's time to reflect on it and say, is this really going anywhere? Is this what I'm meant to be doing? And ask for guidance and ask for support in the spirit world, because that's what they're going to help you with over the next few days. There's also a full moon, of course, on the weekend, which is another, time to kind of release what we no longer need, those relationships, maybe jobs, the people in our lives who just don't suit us anymore. But I did pull the summer solstice card because one of my favorite cards in this deck is just beautiful. It's all about radiance, and it really is just it is telling you that it's your time to shine. It really is your time to shine. So while we're waiting for caller, let's pull a few cards. Let's see what the next few days are going to look like. I know there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere with the summer solstice and with the full moon, but hey, that's okay. We can handle it. I mean, you're used to it now. It's like every 2 weeks, right? We got something on. So what does the universe want us to know for what's going on in the next few days? All right, building that firm foundation. So things are definitely coming in for us, but not easily, right? There's been a lot of hard work put in. Your next card is actually, so the first card I came flying out was the firm foundation, which is a beautiful card. It's number 4, which is all exactly about that. Is all about building and support and security. And you are building your firm foundation, and not just with money, I think also with relationships, because we have the lovers next. It could be a romantic relationship. This could be a partner relationship. The other meaning of the lovers, though, is that you are building a relationship with yourself, right? You're learning to love yourself. You're learning to accept yourself. You're learning to balance out the masculine and the feminine energy that we all carry. So, all very important. The last card is the number 9, material harvest in this deck, or it would be the 9 of Pentacles in the old tarot. And this is all about reaping your rewards. It is a wish fulfillment card. So, it feels really good. So, like I said, for those of you that, if things are working out, perfect. For those of you who aren't, you still have 6 months. 6 months to change it. Do what you have to do. Get everything in order, because it's going to work out. Remember, it's your time to shine. So we have Maria in Springfield on the phone. So, hi, Maria.
Hi. Excuse me.
How
Hi.
you doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. What can I do for you this evening?
Well, I debated if I wanted to have a question about my career or my future man that's coming my way. And I just thought you pick between the two, because I figured one you'll connect with better than the other as far as answer, or you're excited to share something from either question. So, is that okay to propose it like that? Present it to you like that?
So am I correct in saying that you want me to look at a relationship rating? Is that what we're saying?
A relationship or career, whatever one. See, I wanted you to pick, because I think you'd be excited to tell me one or the other. So,
all right. Well, let's start with the relationship. If we're really lucky, we might have time to do the two. Let's try to go through the relationship one really quickly. So, are you in a relationship right now? Are you waiting for someone?
Yes. Yeah, I'm divorced, but no dating, and I rarely go out much. I'm a homebody.
Right.
I get out sometime. I went out last weekend for Father's Day, and I had a lot of fun. It was outdoors, so yeah.
Oh, good. You should get out. It's nice to socialize with people. It's healthy for us.
Right.
All right, let's see.
I didn't socialize much, but I kept to myself. But I did have fun.
I'm glad. Okay. All right. Let's see who's coming in for you.
Okay. Thanks. Okay,
it's an interesting reading. So The first card that I have for you is really interesting because this is you, and you are the, excuse me, you are the Seven of Cups. And Seven of Cups is all about having lots of choices. So we feel that you start getting out there and start socializing, you're going to probably have more than one person that you're interested in. And that's a good thing, right? You know, I mean, hey.
Oh, yes. I've never dated more than one person at a time. So I would like to have this experience. Oh, nice.
See, I think it's just going to be people that you're interested in. But the person you're going to pick is actually the Justice card. And the Justice card is all about a person that's balanced and balances you well, you know, like picks up on things that they need. But how you're going to see the relationship is interesting because you have the five of swords there, and the Five of Swords is sort of like, if you can see the card, there's a man there who's carrying 3 swords, and he has 2 on the ground. And he's kind of looking back at people walking away, and he looks like he's like somebody that's maybe like a little bit out there in the spotlight, kind of a little bit more popular. But with this relationship, it's sort of like, okay, you know what? We're going to take the swords that we need, the good things that we need, and we're going to leave that like doubt and insecurity and stuff. We're going to leave those 2 swords on the ground because we don't need those swords. Okay? So when you... Yeah, I know, interesting. Hey, that's what I said. It's an interesting reading. So when it comes to like how you're going to see the relationship a little bit more, you have the Sun. You have which is the most positive card in the deck, right? Which is beautiful, and the basis of your relationship is really interesting too, because it's the Four of Cups. And if you can see that card, there's a guy that's sitting there. He's kind of sitting against the tree, and kind of thinking, oh, nothing's going to happen. He's looking at these 3 cups empty in front of him. But he's got an offer coming in with a cup right next to him, and that's your offer. Somebody's coming in with an offer, and if they're coming in with, for you, it's going to be the 10 of Cups. Like, it's beautiful. Once you narrow it down to the balance guy, right? Because I really feel there's going to be a few at the beginning. You know, you're going to pick the right one. You are going to pick the right one.
God. And I'm on my phone, but I'm on my computer to see the broadcast, so I can see you now do all the cards. So this is outstanding. Yeah, you're a very pretty lady. Hi, yeah, thank you.
I know, it's beautiful for you. It's beautiful. All right, let's see what's going to happen. We pull a different deck for this one. Let's see what's going to happen in your career. So in the career now, are you looking for a new job, or are you?
Well, you know what? I have a real estate license, and I'm back and forth with pursuing that. And then I thought I wanted to do some creative stuff on my own with painting, but I haven't painted anything. But I'm always gravitating to colorful things at the resale store. Crayons, colored pencils. I just bought some chalk today, colored chalk to do chalk drawing. So
Yeah.
what's happening?
Yeah, something's happening. You should definitely start doing those creative projects. This is a really good time to do that, right? With the first day of summer and all, right?
Yeah, I agree.
It's time to like start doing some things that you really like to do, because you know what? The universe wants you to do it if they're making you buy all this stuff.
I agree.
You gotta blame it on somebody. You might as well blame it on them. I have to buy this stuff, you say. The universe wants you.
And I'm excited.
Okay, so it's interesting is that for your career, I pull a solar plexus chakra card for you. And the 3 is all on this card is all about the intentions have been set. The universe knows what you want, but you are a little bit hesitant. You're a little bit, your self-esteem is not what it should be when it comes to what you want to do. And I feel that's probably more on the creative side.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But the obstacles that you have is the choose wisely card. Yet again, you have that 7 of Cups again, right? Choices and opportunities are definitely coming in for you, but you're going to be kind of hesitant. Like, should I do that? Maybe I shouldn't. You're not going to, but you need to sort of push those negative thoughts aside and really focus on, okay, this is, it's coming to me for a reason. I'm going to give it a try. I'm not saying quit your other job, but I'm feeling that something creative is going to come up for you. The guidance for you is material and spiritual prosperity. Another number 6, which is all about union and harmony. Then also when they see this card, the number 6 is also about partnership. So feel somebody's going to come in and offer you something. You have the spirit world on your side, right? And when it comes to material things, I feel that that's going to boost up a little bit somehow. Maybe you're going to start selling some of the stuff that you're doing. Maybe the real estate thing is just going to get take off a little bit more. But really what you need to focus on is the universe card here. Another number 3, like I said, the seeds have been planted. They know exactly what you want to do, right? What you have to do. You just have to figure it out. So that when I see this card, I'm always like the universe has your back. It would be the world in the old tarot, which is all about success and, good things coming in for you. And when it comes to the outcome of this opportunity, you need to stand your ground. You have the number 7, which is all about success. And it's a purple card, which is a spiritual card. One more just to confirm, how's all this going to go for you? And you get the victory and success card in the end. Yet again, another number 6. So you're all about the 3s and the 6s, which is beautiful. And I really feel that, I think you should just dive into this art for a little side project to see where it takes you. See who's interested. I feel you might, get some sales there. But keep with the real estate because you still got to pay the bills. But thank you so much, Eileen or Maria. It was great talking to you, and I have to go now. So have a great night and happy summer solstice, everybody. Be back next week.
Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Raylene Byrne. Live from RayleneByrne.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page. Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, Ask1Radio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Medicine for Your Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Namaste. Medicine for Your Spirit. We are in the solstice time. Southern Hemisphere, it's winter solstice. Northern Hemisphere, it's your summer solstice. Wherever you are, the solstice time is a form of pause. It is a turning point in our year. It's always halfway through the year. So we're all at this. We've done 6 months from our last solstice in December, and here we are. So it's time, wherever you are, to pause. It's time to reflect. It's time to see what you've transformed through, especially in this year of 2024, the changes that have been coming at you, what you've moved into, what's still to come. And also it's time to offer gratitude. You know, the earth sustains us and gives us sustenance. The only reason we stay alive is because of what we get from the earth. So having some time through this beautiful solstice window over the next day or two to really pause and offer some blessing from your heart towards the earth, towards the ley lines, to bring your gratitude for all that earth has given you, for all that this world offers us on this turning point. And solstices are always like an ending and a beginning. So, you know, we've got the winter solstice, we're welcoming the light back. In the summer solstice, it's the longest day. So we start celebrating because the sun is going to start becoming less. The days become shorter, or the daylight. And in the winter solstice, the days become longer. So it's all about the sun. It's all about light. And it's always about reflecting on our own inner light. And so in winter solstice, we go in more. Summer solstice, we're expanding out. So I always like to go back through history. I like to look back at how people celebrated this. So ancestrally, there were certain times, I see it as universal nudges, universal gifts for us to pause and ponder. So this is one of the 4 major turning points in the year. So it's really important, if you are into all this sort of stuff, to really take a moment and sit with it and really reflect and go into a place of gratitude and see it as an initiation. Because inside all of us, going back through eons, are our ancestors who stood in gatherings and celebration and ritual at solstice time. To celebrate, to share, to give thanks. So when we pay a moment, give ourselves that moment through time in the day, the next 2 days, 2 or 3 days, what we're doing is we're connecting to that energy and we're adding our intent into this lineage of celebration to cosmic energy and cosmic timing and nature. So, just spend some time thinking about it. And I will, if I have time, I will give you something from my book that I pulled open today for everyone. But I do have a caller. Laurie, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hi. How can I be of support or assistance or guidance or whatever? What do you need today? What would you like support with?
What do I need? It's been a really tough week. I don't know if it's because of the summer solstice and all that happening right now. But so just curious about the summer plans, family, that kind of thing.
So what you're actually wanting support with what? What, just a general how to take care of yourself in all of this, or I'm not quite sure what you
Yeah, a lot of family get-togethers and how to work through it.
Okay, so there's often with family, as we know, bless them all, we love them dearly, but crikey, some family members, they're hard work. So one of the things that's really important at any celebratory time when there's gatherings and holidays and all the rest of it is to know your own boundaries. It's to know what feels right for you and what doesn't. And so I'll pull some cards here in a minute. But one of the things I want to share from my long experience is trusting the feelings around whatever situation you're in. Because if you know there's people in your world who are like drama kings or drama queens, or they've always got something to moan or whinge about, or there's always some criticism or judgment, and you know that that's their nature, you can be pleasant and you can have a small interaction, but you've got to pull yourself out of it and, find something else, because our energy, our own personal energy, is our most precious commodity. It's our most precious thing. And in situations like that, we can get bombarded and then we can find ourselves energetically dropping down, and we end up engaging in those types of things that perhaps we know aren't right for us. So it really is a matter of really tuning into your feelings in these situations. And if the feeling is, oh, this is getting hard, or I'm not really enjoying this, or it just doesn't feel good for me, then you've got to exit stage left. You've got to find something else, whether you go off to the bathroom or whether you go to get a drink or whether you just don't go outside to breathe.
Absolutely. I think it will be the avoidance thing I'll have to probably do. But anyways, okay, how about future grandchildren? You said, well, I have you on the phone, just a quick question about that. Future grandchildren or any moves on my part? Do you see anything like that?
What are you wanting to know about whether there's grandchildren coming?
Yes.
How old are your kids?
Oh boy, they're all in their mid-30s.
Okay, rightio. Let's just see. We're looking for some spiritual, universal, mystical information around Laurie. Her question around, are there grandkids coming? I will say at the moment, what I'm feeling, there's a lot of spirits ready to come through, a lot of new little spirits. It's coming in, it's like a rain shower of spirits wanting to come in right now. And they're coming in ways that even though their prospective parents are doing everything they can to avoid it, they're still coming in. And I can say this quite definitely. I have 3 very special friends around me who are in their 40s, early 40s, and in the last 2 weeks they've all found out they're having babies and they've done everything they can not to. So I sort of laughed. Okay, it's they're coming. And I can feel there's a whole lot coming in. There's a lot of souls leaving the planet at the moment. A lot of old energy, a lot of old fears are leaving, and so new, brighter, lighter energy has to come through. So there's a whole lot coming through. So they could come in very unexpected ways. But let's see what's here for you, a lot of kids and kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, the first thing that's coming up here is a level of being grateful for everything you already have, being grateful for the health and well-being that you and your kids have, being really grateful that they've been able to, live the lives that they've chosen to. Because often when we go into gratitude, we're not asking for anything. We are giving thanks for what we have, and that means more comes to us. And I think even being grateful for our children, sometimes we forget to be grateful for the choices that they make because it's part of their soul journey. And when we start exercising that interaction, there's a shift that happens, and you might find that instead of avoiding having babies, they're like, I'm ready to, because something happens, there's magic that happens. So maybe, letting them know that you're grateful for them, the choices they've made and how independent they become, whatever it is, might be enough to open up little doorways of opportunity for new ones to come through. So let's see what else is here. There's new growth coming, definitely babies. There's definitely some baby. I'm hearing babies. There's new growth. I don't want to be prophetic and say in the next 6 months, but I feel when I look at new growth, especially now at this solstice time, it is very expansive. And when I'm looking at this view, it's like new things are coming. It's like planting the seeds right now. So there could be some action within the next 6 months. There could even be talk of it. So just, sit there with a contented heart around that. But I'm hearing babies, might be a set of twins. I feel like it's going to be 2 or 3, mainly 2, very, very close together. So if you've got, 2 or 3 kids, you might end up finding they're having babies close together. If one doesn't end up with twins, it's just, it feels there's new growth. There's definitely new stuff coming through. And this last one here is innocence. There's this energy of innocence here. So that's babies, children, wonder. So that's there. I feel one thing you might need to look at is dealing with your fear that it won't happen, or dealing with your fear or remorse that maybe, your fear around them, maybe they've left it too late, or maybe whatever it is, whatever your little fear is, you need to deal with that and look at it as not as maybe an area that needs to be healed, like maybe it's your expectation. And that can come forward as, they're in their mid-30s and not having kids, and what if they never have kids? That can be a little fear. That can be a little resistance. So I would be looking at, if you've got any of that going on, turn it into gratitude, because that will override everything. But I do feel there's a couple coming through quite close, because this new growth is here, and it's a real sense of the natural order of things. It's the natural way things unfold. And as I said, there are a lot of new little souls waiting to drop in at the moment. They're showering in. So even though we've got a lot of souls leaving, there's new energy coming in. So just be, the word for you is, it's not about being patient, it's being in the open-hearted receptivity of good news. When we're sitting in that, I'm really ready for good news, and I'm so grateful for everything, and I'm ready for the next part. That really opens up energy fields as well. So
well, that's exciting. Thanks very much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exciting. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all the best with that. And hey, listen, if you've got your summer solstice, put out a beautiful intent that you're calling in these souls for who want to dance, play with you as grandchildren. Call them in.
Oh, okay. Will do.
Call them in. Okay. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, yes, it's a good time for calling things in the Northern Hemisphere in the summer solstice, getting ready for the new and really celebrating what's been. It's a very big energy. But what I wanted to do, I opened my book this morning, this book, Alchemy of Awareness, and this morning before the call, I said, okay, what is something from my book that I can share? And I opened up the chapter of initiations. So, solstices and equinoxes are like initiations. But I just wanted to read the declaration for this solstice, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, and it's simply this, and it's something you can stand in the sun and say, and it's simply this: today, I courageously take action, aligning with my soul's purpose and becoming who I am here to be. And that is why we go through initiations, to learn the next part of ourselves. So thanks for being with me. If you want to know more, come to rayleneburn.com. I've got a few things on my website you can play with and look at. If you've got questions, let me know. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste. Happy solstice, wherever we are.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Sessions with Spirit with Gene Rose. Live from Facebook.com/Tarot Readings by Gene Rose. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Sessions with Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 25th episode of Sessions with Spirit. I would like to welcome all of you this evening, or perhaps morning, depending on where you are, of course. My name is Jean Rose, and I'm going to be your host this evening. So, guys, I am a professional tarot card reader, psychic, and evidential medium. Yes, and hopefully I will be showing my skills off to you all. We're going to have 2 live callers, which I'm very excited about. And I'm also going to be doing a couple of readings for 2 of my beautiful stickies. So, yes, I can't wait to get to those. In fact, let's begin with Z. And of course, she is representing Callie. Yes, she is. She requested a general reading. So let's go ahead and pull a couple of cards for her. So, guys, did you know tomorrow is the full moon? Yes. And if everyone is acting nuts, that is why. I'm just saying we are on the eve of it. And you know, what do they say, even in ERs, right? The nurse said, oh, God, a full moon, right? Because it affects everyone differently and usually in a chaotic or overwhelming way. So show yourself grace if things have been sort of colliding or just, dare I say, going to crap. Like I said, give yourself grace, okay? Also think about what you want to cultivate and manifest, especially as tomorrow evening approaches. So all tonight, meditate, think about, take some time, whatever it may be, to just kind of think about and focus in regards to what you want in your life or what you want more of. So for Z, your first card was the King of Pentacles. That's going to refer to a success in the area of money or a gain. The second card is the King of Cups. Just watch if at this new opportunity, if somebody doesn't try to kind of make the moves on you. The reason why I say that is because the King of Cups refers to a Casanova / manipulative type. So that kind of like vibe. The third card is the Three of Cups, and that is going to represent a celebration. I'm not sure if with this new job, if there is an opportunity for a pay increase at, say, 60 or maybe 90 days, but definitely look into that, especially with performance. I think that's going to be key. Okay. Let's take a caller. On the line, we have Lisa, and she is from my home state, New York. Lisa, how are you, love?
I'm good. How are you?
Love, I am so happy to talk to you. Oh my God, another New Yorker. Thank God. Oh, love, how are you doing?
I'm here. I'm good, I guess.
Oh, Lisa, what's going on tonight?
My dad passed on the 18th of last month.
Okay.
And I was hoping that maybe somewhere along the line he'd have something to tell me. There's a lot of things going on, and then yesterday I found out that another friend passed. So it's been hard, and then right after my dad passed, my aunt had a heart attack, and it's just been one thing right after another.
Oh, love. Okay. All right. Well, let me do my thing. Say no more. Let me see who steps forward. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Right off the bat. Oh, you're very welcome, my love. I am an evidential medium. Now, what that means, in case you've never heard that title, is I give evidence of who I am speaking with. So it's not just a generic, oh, they're at peace, they're with you, like that. No, I give like specific details in regards to who I am interacting with. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So right off the bat, I feel a strong male energy, and I also do automatic writing. So if you guys are watching me, you're going to see me scribbling stuff. So I feel a strong male energy. I do feel as though that is your father. What's with the birds, Lisa? How do birds come into play with him? Have you been seeing them, or did he? I'm sorry, what?
So what is his birthday?
No, birds. The
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of birds.
Okay. Those have been signs from him, just so you know.
Okay.
He's been just sending them to. Has there been like a ripple in the family lately, or like waves?
You can
Waves.
say that, yes.
Okay. Because I write waves, but I also feel this like unrest. And it's not to say that his passing.
Crazy.
Did he keep everybody sort of sane?
I'm thinking so now because everything's just been ridiculous since he's gone.
I feel like he was the peacekeeper,
Yeah.
more so than anyone thought. And I think there was a lot of things that like he didn't speak on, and there were a great reason for it. There, is a lot of conflict right now, and of course, sometimes and especially during or after a loss, I don't want to say people can turn on each other, but grief makes you do crazy things, and we lash out because we're angry. They're gone. Yeah. We don't know what to do. And then before you know it, everybody is at each other's throats. And it's very easy for a family to do that, especially when the person that passes was the glue. Whether everybody realizes it while they were with them in the physical realm, or if it's like that real culture shock. And I think this is what you're going through, Lisa. I think you guys didn't, it's not a matter of like appreciating it. He's like, you guys just didn't understand, he thought nothing of it. He just always wanted everything to be calm, peaceful.
Yeah, that's him.
You know what I mean? That he was just a very, I feel like soft-spoken man. His presence that was huge. All he had, but because he was respected. Does that make sense? Everybody respected him.
Oh, yeah, everybody loved him. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah. But they also respected him.
Yeah.
They didn't just they loved him because they could respect him so much. His moral compass.
And he'd give you the shirt off his back.
He really would. And his moral compass literally points due north. Like it is just like straight up. Straight up. He was an outstanding gentleman. He was very, very polite as well. Manners were a big thing to him. Big thing. Yeah. So, yes. Do you carry, what's the guilt for? Because all of a sudden I feel like I have a heavy heart.
I do, because he didn't prepare for his death, so I had to do what I had to do, and it wasn't what he wanted.
Are you worried, or do you think that he doesn't, like he's mad at you, or he wouldn't forgive you?
No, I know that the body is the body and the soul is the soul. So the body's left here for us. So I know his soul's good. I know he's in heaven, and, I know he's good. But the flack that I'm getting from everybody else down here, it's just not making it easy.
He doesn't want you to think of that. There's enough on your plate right now with what's going on with the family. You need to stop worrying about, I don't want to say the small things. It's not really a small thing when you look at it. But he doesn't want that love. No, he wants peace to be brought back. So whatever it is, you did what you had to do, and he recognized that.
Yeah.
It was still beautiful.
That it was. I mean, it wasn't what he wanted, but it's what he got, and I did the best I could with what I had.
And he recognizes that you did your best. And he understands the fact that, it maybe fell a little short in terms of, what his wishes were. But he's saying to let it go, that it was still a beautiful, beautiful event. It might not have been X, Y, and Z, but that doesn't matter, because in the grand scheme of things, and at the end of the day, what was held, he approves of, he gives his blessing for. He thinks it's absolutely beautiful. He shows me white roses. which shows that he's at peace. But then when they extend the bouquet, that means thank you. So he's thanking you for what you did do.
I need that. I really do.
I'm glad. You know, I felt honored that I was able to give that to you.
Thank you
I
so
know
much.
you're very welcome, love. I know the loss of a parent. I get that, you know, but don't harbor those fears or those feelings because you're already going through that grief. And then to compound it with other stuff and then the stress of what's going on with the family, you're not giving yourself any grace, you know, and then you're going to like burn out.
For Father's Day, I was able to purchase his headstone in full for Father's Day.
Beautiful.
So I gave him a headstone for Father's Day.
What a gift. What a gift.
So
that's beautiful.
Not the best gift that I wanted to give to him, but it was, you know, something that it's marking so that everybody beyond me can tell them who he was.
Yes, absolutely. Ola, thank you so much for calling and giving me the opportunity to connect with him. I appreciate it so, so much.
Thank you so much for that. I do need it, and I do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Why don't you give me a follow? I am on Facebook. You can find me at Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. I would love to stay in touch, maybe read for you again in the future.
Thank you so much. You have a good night.
You're very welcome, Lisa. You have a beautiful night as well. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Up next, we have Ashley, and she is in Rhode Island. Hey, Ashley, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. How are you doing tonight?
Good.
What are we reading on this evening? What's going on?
A lot has going on. I actually got approved for my apartment, so I'll be moving into my apartment tomorrow. That I've been waiting about a year and a half for.
Congratulations. That's beautiful.
Thank
That's
you.
wonderful news. Yes, that is fantastic.
Yep, me and my two kids. So this is the first time that I'll be by myself with my two kids in our own place. So it's a lot's going on.
Okay, Queen, I get it. All right. It might not be the situation that was expected, but look at how you're slaying it.
That's it.
Right? You did it.
That is it.
6 months ago, you didn't expect this to happen. A year ago, you didn't expect this to happen.
I kept telling myself, I kept saying to myself, I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to take forever. And it just randomly just happened. So it's such a blessing.
I am so happy for you. Oh my gosh. So what do you want to read on? Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to do this reading.
I'm sorry. What was that?
What would you like me to read on?
All right. Just anything, love, family, anything that you see or feel or anything like that.
Absolutely.
For guidance for the future.
I pulled the cards in a general sense, and the reason why is because that way they wouldn't be limited to one area, and anything and everything could come up. So I went ahead and I pulled 5 cards. The first card is the Knight of Swords. That card fell reversed. Now in tarot, and to me, it doesn't matter if you've had a tarot reading before. I like to break down the cards so they're easier to understand. I swear one of my missions in this life is to just make everyone love tarot as much as I do. It's so insightful, and it gives us direction. It gives us advice. It offers insight. So like I said, I don't ever want anyone to walk away from a reading scratching their head going, you know, what did she say? So that's why I break it down. So to me, it doesn't matter if you've had a reading before or not. I'm still going to say and explain everything. So the first card is the Knight of Swords. Yeah, that card fell reversed. So when a card falls reversed, it changes its meaning. With the Knight of Swords, With that falling reverse, that's going to instead refer to stability. You just said, you know what I mean? That tomorrow is the big day that you move. You're going to have that stability there. There's a lot of unknowns on the table right now. A lot. And that's okay. Because you conquered this, you're going to be able to conquer everything else. So just take things in stride and take things one step at a time. Your cards are absolutely beautiful. And love, I am a straight shooter when it comes to cards. You know, there's no point in fudging and being like, oh yeah, your cards are amazing. And meanwhile, they are absolute crap. There's no point in that. I'm doing you a disservice. I'm disrespecting the deck. Your cards, one after another, after another, after another, they were beautiful. So the first card, like I said, that represented stability. Your second card was the 10 of Cups. That's going to refer to a situation that comes full circle or to a sense of close or completion. The cup suit refers to not only family relationships or family overall, but also that emotion of like contentment, satisfaction, relief, joy, happiness, all of those beautiful, happy, uplifting emotions. The third card, and I love when aces drop in readings. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. They're like the best card. They are. There's only 4 and there's 78 cards in a deck. So are the odds ever in your favor? Not really. But I'm just saying, you got the Ace of Wands. That's going to refer to unexpected opportunities. I think with you proving to yourself that you could take this first step and knock it out of the park, more opportunities are going to be coming your way. Your next card was the Fool. The Fool talks about living in the present, absorbing the now. Enjoy even tonight. You know, this is the night before that you move and your new life starts. That's what the Fool is all about. The Fool isn't about being naive. The Fool is the first card of the major arcana. He's card 0, which means that he hasn't been tainted by life's hurts. Now, I'm not saying that you have to forgive. I'm not saying that you have to forget. What I am saying is that for your own sake and your own peace of mind, stay present. Stay present for your kids. Yeah. That's the day you're going to remember. Move-in day? Oh my gosh. Have a blast tomorrow. Get pizza. Enjoy it. Is it going to be stressful? Yes. You're very welcome. Is it going to be stressful? Yeah. Moving always is. There's hiccups. Okay? Moving on. Don't spoil the day with minor hiccups. That is your day to own. You slayed it. Absolutely. You got your own place. You did it. Regardless of where or what the circumstances it is stemming from or the why behind the situation, the key to remember here is that you did it. So don't lose sight of that. Your last card was the 6 of Pentacles. If you are worried about like long term, am I going to be able to do this? Am I really able to afford this place? Yeah, the money's going to be there. You deserve this. You can't mess up what is meant for you. This place was meant to be. You waited a year and a half. Enjoy it. This is your blessing, love. And I don't say that lightly. You're so welcome.
When I tell you, there was a girl at work and she's like, I'm just starting with Tara. I'm like, let's pull some cards for me. And when I tell you the cards that she pulled were basically the exact same cards that you just pulled. And then she's like, and I said something to her, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get this apartment. And she's like, for some reason, like these cards are like just coming, like I feel like you're going to get the apartment. And I was sitting there and I've been manifesting it for so long. I left a 16-year relationship with 2 kids. That's all I ever known, basically. I'm only 30 years old. I left a 16-year relationship.
Yeah.
And we completely are starting over. And like you said, there's so many obstacles, this and that. Like I drove out of my driveway. I'm going to pick up my oldest son. I drove out of my driveway. I'm like, this is the last night that I'm doing what I'm doing until I'm at the next step. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just going to enjoy it. We're going to have fun tonight. Maybe we'll hop in the pool, like as we're packing, like just enjoy it because tomorrow's going to be so different.
Yeah. It's going to be a new normal.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. You're so incredibly welcome. I pulled a couple extra cards for you just to use as strategy. The first one is strength. That's going to talk about exercising courage and being brave. So as you embark on this new chapter, just kind of take things in stride, like I said before. The second card was the Three of Wands. That's going to talk about having positive expectations. Remember, like attracts like. So whatever you think, that's going to be what you manifest. I'm not saying you got to be a positive Polly 24/7, but definitely don't sit there waiting for the other shoe to drop. Okay? The last card is the Wheel of Life, which is also known as the Wheel of Fortune. And that's going to talk about matters impacted by time. You'll fall into a new groove of things. You'll make up your new routine. You got this. You really do.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, love. You have a beautiful night. Okay? You
Thank
take
you.
care. You're very welcome. Well, give me a follow at on Facebook. You can find me at Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. I would love an update. Please, I would love an update and to hear.
Absolutely.
Yes, I would love to hear how you're doing once you settle in. I really would.
Oh my God, I will. Yes, I promise I will.
Okay. Oh, awesome, love. You
Thank
take
you so
care.
much. You have a great night. I appreciate
You too, and good luck. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Oh, how sweet. We wish her the best of luck. Oh my gosh, I know she's absolutely just going to knock it out of the park. So for our last reading for my other Stiggy is my beautiful friend, Annie. Z and Annie are both very dear friends of mine. They also are moderators for me over on TikTok. And they just help me out so much. They do. So in California, love, here are a couple of cards in regards to general. So overall, I definitely see some stability coming into play. The Knight of Swords was your first card. Stay away from those knee-jerk reactions. And you're super good at that anyway. You can be very, very in the moment and like excellent at staying calm. The sword suit, and I don't feel so this is in regards to conflict, but I'm just talking about like being impulsive in that regard. The next card is going to be the Ten of Cups. That card is going to refer to a situation of happiness, contentment, joy, things coming full circle. I know there is a lot on your plate. However, just know there's a lot of good things going on too. You know, it's not a matter of like counting your blessings. It's a matter of like recognizing your accomplishments. Doing that. Your next card was the Beautiful Star. That is going to refer to a hope, wish, or dream coming true. You're on the right track. It may not feel like it at times, but you are. You know, just don't give up. The next card was the Queen of Swords. That's going to refer to being logical. Also would be a point to logic, but not just logic in the sense of like coming from that logical space and like peace, not giving into conflict, but like more like going to school, furthering education. The last card was the Hangman, and that card fell reversed. That card is going to refer to stability coming into play. So yes, is it a lot right now? Absolutely. Okay. Remember, weekend is coming up. Yes. So just enjoy it. You know, try not to focus on the little, not hiccups, but just little like detours. If you get thrown off track for a little bit, that's okay. You know, don't be like, oh gosh, and hyper focus and overthink. You know, don't do that. Stay focused. You got this. That was awesome. Oh my gosh, Annie received some beautiful, beautiful cards. I figured we would come to a close by pulling an oracle card for everyone. So I'm using the universe as my back deck. So the card for everyone is going to be, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. That is especially true for this June. This is, of course, the month that was named, or its name came from the goddess Juno. She is, of course, the goddess of marriage and love. I think that is absolutely beautiful, and especially in terms of tomorrow being the full moon. Like I said, focus on things that you want to enhance as well as manifest. Guys, don't forget to follow me down below. You can find me on Facebook at Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. Also on Instagram as well as TikTok under Tarot by Jean Rose. All one word. I will see you guys next week. Tonight was absolutely epic. Those calls were fabulous. Oh my gosh, I was so pleased to have been able to do that. Amazing, amazing mediumship. It was honestly breathtaking. It really was. To be able to connect that fast and that hard, fantastic. You guys have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Good night.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, back at last. Yes, I am here live tonight in July, the 5th of July. And I think the last time I said I'll see you next week was like April, wasn't it? But I'm back. I was hideously sick for months. There was an outbreak of flu here in New York City. I checked with the Department of Health, and I saw the chart, and I noticed that just about the point where the flu went away is when I got it. And see, always a contrarian, never going with the crowd, and I got it, and it knocked me out for like 3 months. And then it was replaced by an upper respiratory infection. And, man, it was unbelievable. But I'm here. I had a flu last year in March, and I had a flu this year in March, and this one was pretty bad. The thing is that it didn't last as long as it seems, because what happened was that it took my voice away. So I couldn't do it. It's very hard to do a show on radio with sign language. So I couldn't do it. So that's why I took the time off. I didn't think it would be worth wasting your time just hearing me scratching and croaking. And I sounded like Marlon Brando in the hospital scenes in The Godfather. You know, it was just really, I was really gone there. But it's back. I had pneumonia some years back, and that took away my voice for 6-7 months. So we lucked out. It didn't take me that long. But I'm here, and I'm looking forward to doing the show because I don't remember what I do. See, there's something with tarot cards, I believe, isn't that it? Yeah, so here they are. I'm shuffling them up. What the world seems to have changed a little bit since last we met, but in overall, the overall scheme of things, nothing much really changes. It's people still have the same concerns and that they've always had, and life goes on. And well, like I said, I'm back. I'm a little jittery because it's been quite a while, and I was, what's the word I'm looking for? Going crazy. I missed this. I really did. I've been doing this for a little over 10 years, so to not do it for 3-4 months just really put a crimp in my schedule. I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm back, and now it's summer. It's hot out. New York is very hot and smelly, but the thing about New York in the summer is it gets cold. It gets nice and chilly in the evenings. So although today the temperature was over 90 degrees, right now it's about 70, 71, 72 degrees. And that's pretty good. That's because we have cross ventilation here. And we can get away without air conditioning if we want to, which I prefer. We've got those things. We have those machines, but I don't like them. I don't like the way they feel. I think I would be. I know a lot of people moving to Florida. I wouldn't be able to handle that. My friends in Florida tell me that you need air conditioning 364 days a year. So I don't know if I could even do. I'd probably feel like a prune, left out in the cold here. But I have no problem with going with the flow with the seasons. When it's hot, I sweat. When it's cold, I shiver. And I think we'd be better off that way. We've kind of lost the rhythm of life. Everyone's talking about saving the planet. Well, of course, there's really no reason to be too scared about that. I mean, I know there's a lot of people trying to scare you, but the planet has all the time in the world. Don't worry about that. The worst that'll happen is that things will change and human beings will adapt to it, and then we'll be getting our vegetables from the Sahara Valley. That's what will happen if it gets really bad. But it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. But we need to get into the rhythm, I believe, of the world, of nature. Everything pulses. Our pulse, our heartbeat, the way that our blood pressure works, it's tied to the tides in a sense, because the tides pulse in and out. In fact, what is blood if not we carrying the ocean around in our body? Because the first life forms that left the ocean had to take the ocean with them, and they took it in the form of blood. Very clever, weren't they? Whoever designed all this. It happened by accident, and that's even more amazing. But that is a philosophical discussion for another time. I'm not big on trying to change nature. This is why I don't wear a toupee. I like to leave things the way they are naturally, as natural as possible. So when it's nighttime, we kind of sit in the dark here. We have lights, but not that many. We don't keep everything brightly lit. We go with the flow, as I said, and I enjoy it. And I miss the days. You don't see it in New York City because of all the lights. but I miss looking up in the sky and seeing the stars and seeing in August, seeing the meteorites zooming around. And it's nature and the world. It's a beautiful thing. And when you're stuck lying in bed for 3 months, you start to think about all these things, about the rhythms of the world, the up and down, and here we are. So I'm glad to be back. I missed you all. A special thanks to all the folks out there who contacted me by text message and by email over the last few months to inquire as to the state of my health and to encourage me. Well, you did good, because I'm here, and you helped. You certainly made me feel better. I'm sitting here in the little studio, and let's see, I have my little truck. There it is, filled with Pez. Yeah, we're just munching on the Pez right now. In fact, keeps my mouth from being a little too dry. But I've got the tarot cards here, and what I'd like to do now is just get right to the readings. How's that? It's been so long. I mean, it's been so long since I've done this that I say, let's just jump into it. I didn't even do any private readings. I did maybe 2 private readings since the end of February. Because, again, I do a lot of that over the phone and Skype. And if you can't hear me, what's the point? So why don't we just ring our bell 3 times to declare sacred space and get into the readings. Okay, now, I'm all set, but what I need is for a caller to call, is somebody to call. So I'm gonna just vamp a little bit until we get somebody on the line. One of the things I wanted to talk about, because I did a lot of listening to news and news on radio and television, I've noticed a pretty horrible trend in communication, which is, I don't know where it started from, but it's news people stopping in the middle of a story and saying, and guess what? Now, I'm in the tarot business here, so I do look into guess what, but I don't know why they do that. Why do they stop in the middle of a story and say, and guess what? Like I picture this, if I go out to get some groceries and I come back and I say to my wife, hey, something, I met this really interesting woman at the store, and guess what? That would be the last thing I ever say. Nobody wants to hear that. She would know what to do. So no, don't. I wish they would just stop that. We're not 4 years old. I don't need the president saying to me, and guess what? And I don't need news people saying, and guess what? I just tell me, whatever it is, I can handle it. I assure you, I can handle it. Well, we're all set now. We've had our bell, that one, right? 3 times to declare sacred space. And Shobha in Madison. Boy, Shobha, did I mess your name up, didn't I? Shobha.
Yes, you did. That's
I'm
okay.
very sorry about that. I as someone whose name used to get messed up all the time, I feel very guilty every time I do that. So how's Madison, Wisconsin tonight?
Oh, pretty good.
Excellent. Did you have a good 4th?
Yes, it's quiet. That's okay.
Beautiful. What can I look at for you tonight?
My work.
Okay. What would you like to know?
Well, I don't know. Tell me what comes up for work.
Fair enough. Let's see.
My current job or future job or whatever.
Well, I've got an interesting card here. First is the 3 of Coins. The 3 of Coins is about completing a job, doing a job. Sometimes it means a project, a temporary project or a temporary work, but it means doing something and completing it. Have you done something recently that you completed in terms of your career and work?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, you may get an assignment then of some sort, of something new to do. And it won't be a full-time thing, but it's something that you will do very well at, and you'll succeed, and that will lead you to other things.
Okay.
Now, the Queen of Rods is here, and that's good. The Queen is the person who's in control, and the rods are about work and career, so that's good. And the Page of Rods here. This is telling me, these cards coming after the 3 of Coins is telling me that you may get like a temporary job a temp position of some sort if you're looking for something like that, but it's going to lead to something more permanent. That's very clear in these cards with the Page of Rods and the Queen of Rods. And then the next card is the World, which is assured success. The Five of Coins. Have you been having financial difficulties lately?
Well, not terribly, but it can always get better.
Okay, but it was something that's concerning you.
Yes.
Okay, well, because that's underneath all of this, but it's just like the base of it. That's followed by the Six of Rods, though. So you've got the Five of Coins, which is a concern over money problems. And then the Six of Rods. Rods, again, are about work and career. That's a card of triumph and success, which is indicated in the Three of Coins also. So I think you're headed for a period where you're going to find a new job that is going to be maybe a temporary position, but you'll do so well at it that it'll lead to other things.
It sounds good.
And let me tell you this is going to be very good, because there's two cards here that I want to make very clear that you hear, because it's important. One is the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords, although it's a nasty looking card, it means that the worst is over. You've been through some rough times and the worst is over. The next card is the Nine of Cups, and that is a card of enjoyment and fulfillment and happiness and luxury. You know, the person in that card knows how to live and enjoys it. So I think that the worries and the troubles are coming to an end, and you're entering a period that's going to be very good for you. And it'll all be heralded by an offer for some work to do on a temporary project that you will make the most out of. Okay?
Sounds very promising. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. It looks very, very good, and I'm happy to see that. Oh, here's one just with the Six of Coins. It confirms that there's money coming your way. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sounds perfect. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. Sorry about mangling your name. I didn't mean to do that. Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle up the cards again. You're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, the show that comes on 3 times a year, apparently. And I should be back next week. You know, there shouldn't be a problem there. You wouldn't believe how bad I sounded. I still feel like I'm a little bit raspy in my throat, but that's going away. Health and healing was on my mind, and coincidentally, I wasn't completely inert. Like I said, for the last month or so, I was feeling better, but I couldn't speak. Wow, was that frustrating. I mean, unless you identify as Harpo Marx, that's, and of course, Harpocrates is the deity of silence. Look up Harpocrates sometimes. Just one of those coincidences that Harpocrates and Harpo get together there. But there is a project I was working on, and it's here. It's ready. It's done. And it's a book about psychic healing from the 1940s, long out of print. And it's a marvelous book by one of the great occult writers. Unfortunately, we don't really know him or her. Some people think it's a female, others think it's a male. He or she wrote under a bunch of different names, like Louis de Clermont. That's another name, but there's no way of knowing. I do know I did my research, and there was no copyright on it anymore, so I figured this is time for the world to see this again. If you go to magic-works.com, this book is not available yet at Amazon. If you go to Mojo Academy, no, that you can see it there too, but the easiest way is magic-works.com. Mojo Academy is the publishing arm, but go to my magic website, magic-works.com, and right there at the top of that page, you'll see this just in, and there's a little notice for this book, and it's the first thing he would do was count the fingers and the toes, just to be sure everything was okay. And card readers, we go through a similar thing, because there's always that fear that we're going to have to deliver bad news. But as you see, it's almost like what Shakespeare said, there's no good or bad, but thinking makes it so. There was only one time in the 10 odd years, very odd years, I might add, of doing this show, that I saw something in the cards that I didn't want to talk about in public. And I had the person contact me off the air, and we discussed it privately. But it wasn't bad news. It was just intensely personal, and I didn't think she'd want me to go into that in public. But doing these readings, there's always a thing in the back of the mind where you kind of hope it turns out well for people. And it generally does. Readings generally turn out well because, you know, there aren't that many disasters in life. People generally tend to come out okay, even under adversity. So it's nice to see how it works. And you have a lot of courage calling up and talking about things in front of millions of people with a total stranger. and you don't get a much stranger than me, I think. That's, man, if I ever write my autobiography, that and if it was allowed to go on sale, I would definitely you'd see the weirdness of life. Gina in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania is next. Hi, Gina, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, Gina?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. What can I look at for you tonight?
Okay, I would just say that these past few years, that just about anything you could go through, I've been going through. It's just like in all areas of my life, it's like the whole world has turned upside down, and I'm finding
let me tell
my
you,
way again. And
the first card I got here is the tower struck by lightning. I had that earlier for somebody, and that is, you just described that card. That is a sudden, abrupt change that turns everything upside down. Yeah, you've been, if you hadn't told me, I would have asked you if you've been through a period like that. So yeah. That takes a lot of work. That's difficult times. I've got a card here, the Four of Swords, which tells me that things have been relatively calm lately. Is that so?
Calmer than they've been these, prior in these past few years. Yes, right now.
The key word. The key word is relatively. Yeah, but that's good. That's a card about taking the time out and kind of like resting in a way, and it's good. I see that there's been sadness. I see there's been troubles, and mostly I see a card here of great sadness. But I do see you working through that. I mean, here's the Magician card, for instance. This is a card of somebody who can take spiritual power from above and use it here on earth. The Justice card is here. You have been dealt a blow. You've been treated unjustly. And it will be resolved. You will have justice. You have been treated unjustly, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's the card here. Regular listeners will know that card rarely comes up. So you're coming out of a bad time here. But the key is coming out, right? Coming out of it. The Fool card is here. Now, I want you to pay attention to that because there are times when things are going to look bad for you, and it can be very depressing. The Fool card represents the person who is the beloved of God. The person who gets the card of the Fool, if there's any negative cards in the reading, they're overturned by that card. This is a person with spiritual protection. Now, the Magician showed me that you have spiritual powers, but this is a card of spiritual protection, that you have great spiritual protection. So you're going through an ordeal, and we can only hope that it's for a purpose, right?
I hope so, yes.
Well, you're bearing up well, and and here's another one, the Six of Rods. The third time tonight I got that card. That means you're going to succeed. That's a card of not just success, but triumph. You're going to succeed over all these obstacles. I see that here. But just remember, it can be extremely difficult. That's the problem. I mean, going through these kind of changes, it may be good in the long. First of all, don't listen to anyone who says that whatever's happening to you is a blessing in disguise, because that is the kind of thing that just means you really got shafted. When somebody tells you that,
right.
A blessing in disguise.
Yes, very little comfort in that.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you've been going through hell, and I see that in these cards, but I see you coming out of it. I see you coming out of it quite successfully. Remember the Fool card. please, because that is an important card. It rarely comes up in readings, and it is a card of great spiritual protection. And the Justice card, in case you are concerned that maybe you're not being right about this. If you think that maybe it's your imagination, let's say, no, this card is telling me that you have not been treated justly. And it's confirming that, and it tells me that you're going to get the justice that you are owed. I mean, you know what people say, life doesn't owe you anything. Sometimes it does. You know. Now here's the strength card is here. You've shown great strength during all of this. The 5 of Rods is here. That's a story of the card of people. You look at that card; it shows people there beating each other with sticks. That's about adversity, but you come through it. The next card is Judgment. That's rebirth. That's coming back alive. So this is not going to keep you down. These are the Judgment card and the card of the Justice card and the Judgment card. These are telling me that you're going to get what you've got coming to you, and it's good. Okay? That's the main thing. Keep that in mind. Don't get hopeless, because it may turn bad again, but it isn't going to last, the bad stuff, and it's on your way to very, very, very good stuff here. The 6 of Rods especially, and the Fool and the Justice card and the Judgment card tell me that you're going to come out of this all right. But the main thing is, the first thing you said to me was about everything being upside down, and I got the tower struck by lightning. And you know what that feels like. It shows people being blasted off of the top of a tower by forces around them. So, that's what you described, and that's what's here. You're going to be okay. You're really going to be fine. I got the 9 of Coins here. It tells me that you're going to be okay. You're going to have serenity. So, just if the road getting there is a little rough, just remember that the ending is going to be good. You're getting where you're going. Okay?
It's just hard. It's just hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel. It's like trying to bounce the ball that you left too much air out of. It does every...
Good description, yeah.
Goes by.
Well, I have the 8 of Rods here, and that tells me that your wait for the good times is not going to be very long at all. The 8 of Rods means whatever's coming is coming soon. So just hang in there and remember those cards. Remember the strength card. AskOneRadio.com in a day or so. We'll have this show up in the archives, and you can't miss it. It's the only Reverend Elliott's Magical Window that's been up in the last 3 or 4 months, So you can listen again. You'll be the last call on the show. So you can probably speed through it if you download it and listen to this reading and take heart. Now, if you can't figure out how to do that, if that's a problem, you drop me a line at asktarot@earthlink.net and I'll send it to you. Okay? Because I've got to get out of here. I have to get out of here in 3 minutes. So I got to wrap it up. But this is a good place to leave it. Here's the other one. The 10 of Swords is here. That means the worst is over. Okay, so you're getting close to the end of the bad times. Excellent. Keep that in mind, okay?
I sure will.
Beautiful. And if you need anything else, my email is asktarot@earthlink.net. It's one word, asktarot, okay?
Thank you so much. That gives me some hope of, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
There definitely is. These cards are excellent cards. They show a difficult trip, but a successful trip.
I feel they were very accurate.
Great. That's what counts. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
And that's it, folks. That's it. We've come to the end of the Reverend Elliott 2023 edition of Magical Window. No, I will be back next week. I will definitely be back next week. Now, remember, if you're interested in what I've been doing while I've been hibernating, because that book I was telling about, which is about psychic healing, you can find that at magic-works.com, magick-works.com. I restored I absolutely painstakingly restored. The book was in pretty good condition considering that it was from the 40s. But I did have to replace a couple of paragraphs, and it took me a while to find the proper typeface, but I did it, and it's there. And to all of you who have ordered books during this time, we did get them out to you, and I thank you for your patience. Sometimes it took a little longer than usual, but they got out, and we're trying to get things running and back to normal. And if all works according to plan, I will be here again at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific on the Ask One Radio Network to look through the tarot cards for you. Until then, you can go to magic-works.com, magic-works.com. My mouth's a little dry. You see, I have to pace myself. I have forgotten how to do it, didn't I? And we will, you got like 100 pages of magical stuff there. There's films there. There's things to read. There's recipes. There's all kinds of fun stuff. Take a look at magic-works.com, and the first thing that you'll see on the homepage is that new book about psychic healing, the new reissue of the book from the 1940s. I'd urge you to grab that, because we need that. We all could use some good old psychic healing now. So until next week, remember, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. Bye-bye now. See you next week.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for the Hallie Elise Show with Hallie Elise. Hallie Elise. Live from HallieElise.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Hallie Elise Show on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. As always, I am delighted and excited to be here this evening. I have a special guest tonight. I do my best to bring you at least one guest a month within either the spiritual, holistic, or community genre. Somebody who can make a difference in your world, someone who imparts wisdom. And our guest this evening is a sweet and dear friend who is one of those people that you should get to know. You've heard of wise men, wise women. He fits into that category. The men part, not the woman part. I figured you'd ask. Harry is a amazing individual with a heart bigger than the whole world. What he will share with us this evening, though, is his meditation practices. And he is a master at meditation. He's studied some of the greats, and with the greats, I'll let him share a little bit about that as well. He is an author and a comedian. So fasten your seatbelts. We are going to have a fabulous night. Harry, I'm so glad you can be here tonight.
It's my pleasure, Hallie.
It's always fun when we get to hang out.
Always. And as long as the seatbelts are buckled, we're in good shape.
Exactly. So I want to dive right in and talk about your new book that has kitty cats and puppy dogs and other animals and what they do with meditation before we even get into the meaty stuff. How's that?
Oh, that's fine. Thank you for that. Meditation really is designed to help people raise their self-esteem, expand their consciousness, allow their hearts to open. And the animals around us show us this on a daily basis. I mean, I'm a cat person. I love dogs too, but I'm a big cat person. One of the things that I find so interesting about cats is just the high degree of self-worth they have. There's the old expression, dogs have masters and cats have staff.
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of truth to that. You look at a cat has a tremendous degree of self-sufficiency. And then you start to stroke it and you hear that purr, that bliss. They light up so quickly and they show us a very fast path to bliss, which of course really is something that meditation is all about as well.
Absolutely. Now, it's interesting you talk about petting a cat and all of a sudden begins to purr. You do have that occasional cat that says, I didn't ask you to purr me. You talk about self-worth. The cat who says don't do it goes smack, and you back up and you're like, what's that about? And it's because in that moment, they want to be still.
Yeah, they want to be still, and they also teach us about boundaries. A cat is very clear about its boundaries. And a lot of cats will do just what you said. And of course, a lot of cats, unlike dogs, don't like to travel because they like their own space and they feel centered in their own space and they can control their universe from that space, Dogs, of course, are just beautiful examples of unconditional love. And where in the world, other than a dog, do you really find unconditional love? It's hard. I mean, sometimes people will say, oh, my wife, my husband love me unconditionally. You should look up the definition of the word unconditional. It means regardless of what happens. We wouldn't have the divorces that we have if love was unconditional. But you can't divorce a dog because a dog's love is so unconditional that why would we ever want to,
Very true.
Well, so I wrote this book called The Zen Teachings of Cats and Dogs and Other Non-Humans. And it's really all designed to help us see that the pets who we live with are there to teach us many beautiful lessons. I have a chapter called Pet Yoga, in which essentially each animal is there to teach us some aspect of higher consciousness.
Right. Now, on that note, because even though you've learned from cats and dogs, and I don't know if you can hear my dog in the background, he's not happy that he's sequestered in the other room, but he'll forgive me because he does have unconditional love. Your learning was not solely from the animals that you observed. Where did you begin your pathway to meditation?
I started pretty early, actually. I was meditating at the age of 17, and so that's, I guess, 10 years ago, probably.
With a few anniversaries of that 10th birthday, right?
I was absent when they did math, so yeah, it was okay. It was a little longer than 10 years ago, but I was drawn to. I was in college at the time, and I saw a poster of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who was the guru for the Beatles and Donovan and the Beach Boys, and I just knew right away. It was like love at first poster. I knew right away that this was it for me. And I attended a talk, as soon as the talk was given, I went, I learned. And 3 years later, I became a teacher. I was not quite 20 at the time. So I've been teaching meditation for most of my life, really, since I'm 20 years old.
Incredible. Again, you're only 25, so it's okay.
I thought I could get away with 27, but we'll just leave those numbers out. And the beautiful thing about it was that it was my intuition that showed me or led me to this. And intuition is one of those very subtle parts of the mind that get stronger with meditation. Because essentially, meditation is a kind of gentle voyage, really, through your consciousness, through your mind. And intuition is just at that fine place where our individual mind begins to merge into that unboundedness, or what you might call the universal consciousness.
Now, I know that I teach programs and individuals about intuition, about psychic ability, about tapping into that unconscious or superior conscious mind. And when I say that, because we are not limited to just our brain function and the electrical currents that go through in our everyday life. When we meditate, as you said, we have the ability to connect. I don't know that I would agree totally that it's just subtle, because I've found over the years when I have taught meditation to my students, their effects and affects have been profound. People that were very limited in their view all of a sudden were completely expanded in a whole different way than expected. People that had subtle impressions all of a sudden knew without a doubt what was going to take place. I really feel that meditating not only creates what you said earlier about confidence and helps you understand yourself better and connect with that higher consciousness. I do truly believe that it accelerates our ability to not only know ourselves and the universe, it also accelerates our ability to increase hearing what we need to hear. And when I say hear, I don't mean ears, I mean hear. I mean that higher knowing.
Absolutely. Well, I use the word subtle only to suggest that it's in the quiet, at least through meditation that I teach, it takes the mind through the quieter places inside us, these more peaceful places. And at that very, very subtle, I use the word subtle because it's at that very deep place in us, our mind, our individual mind begins to expand to its universal nature. Because the truth of the matter is, we're both individuals and we're also universal. It's kind of like, is Clark Kent a mild-mannered reporter, or is he a Superman? Now, he's actually kind of both, really. And it's the same with us. We're individuals. We're Hallie, we're Carrie. We're people who show up in the world as distinct individuals, but we carry within us this unbounded, infinite source, really, of consciousness that's, as I said, infinite. And as the mind as our individual mind begins to merge into that infinite place, that's what I was saying before, our intuition gets stronger and stronger, because intuition is just at that place where our individuality merges with our universality.
Yes, agreed. And it's interesting because many masters and teachers talk about that. They just use different verbiage, whether they talk about fields of potentiality or they talk about universal consciousness. There's so many different names depending on what school of thought you believe in, and yet they all merge. And I find that to be true, even if you've never given it a name and you just start to talk about your experience, you find that others go, oh, I get it. Because there's that light that is, as you said, keeps us as an individual, or I should say shows up as an individual and yet shows up as that collective.
That's right.
On that note, your meditation is not meditation that's similar to yoga, meaning you're not doing little hand movements and downward facing, dog, when you're focusing on your meditation. How does your meditation differ than, let's say, somebody who just sits quietly for a moment, closes their eyes, and focuses on mindfulness?
Well, there are differences. I mean, let's face it, meditation has been practiced for millennia all around the world. And as you said, you gave several different names for that source within us. All of those were English words, but of course, Atman is a Sanskrit word, and there are, the Chinese spoke about the Tao. I mean, there's so many different words in so many different cultures and languages, because the truth is that this is universal. There's an individual part of us, there's a universal part. Now, my meditation is different from mindfulness, because the meditation that I teach, which is called Higher Self Healing Meditation, it's really it's derived from decades of practicing and teaching transcendental meditation and training dozens of transcendental meditation teachers, is that it's entirely effortless. No effort at all. No focusing on breath, no focusing on anything. It's absolutely effortless. And that's really the hardest part for most people to grasp who haven't learned it, because most people are familiar with the idea that meditation is difficult. And most people think it's difficult or have experienced it as being difficult because it usually involves some degree of concentration or control of the mind. This technique is absolutely effortless. And if you're interested, I'll be happy to explain why it's effortless.
Well, as long as it doesn't take a half an hour, then be my guest.
It will not take a half an hour. This is radio, I know that. So, when you go to sleep at night, you basically set up an initial condition for a natural thing to take place, which is called the movement from waking to sleeping.
Right,
and
so you're taking from beta to alpha initially.
Exactly. You lay down, you turn the light out, put your head on a pillow, maybe next to a dog, maybe next to a stuffed animal, maybe next to nothing, whatever. And ultimately, within a matter of sometimes minutes, sometimes a little longer, a natural transition occurs from waking to sleeping, and no effort is needed for that to take place. It happens entirely naturally. And another way of saying it is that nature or the universe or spirit or whatever word you're most comfortable with takes care of that transition from waking to sleeping, right? Now, at a certain point, your eyes will rapidly move, and if someone was observing you, they would see that rapid eye movement was signifying that you now moved from a different state called dreamless sleep into dreaming.
Right, so REM state.
Exactly. At a certain point, you'll move out of that back into dreamless sleep. And if you don't use an alarm clock or a dog or a cat or a rooster, you will get exactly. You will get up naturally, meaning nature will get you up out of deep sleep into waking. And this transition happens every single night and morning of our lives. Waking, to deep sleep, to dreaming, back to deep sleep, back to waking. These are natural cycles, right? And each one occurs naturally without any effort on our part. In fact, if you try to fall asleep at night, you will only stay up.
That's very true. Why a lot of people have restless nights, because they're like, I need to go to sleep. And not so much.
Effort is counterproductive in going from waking to sleeping. Like that, the meditation that I teach, which again is derived from a millennial old tradition,
right.
It takes that same principle of effortlessness and allows the mind to go from the waking state. There are 3 states most people are familiar with: waking, sleeping, and dreaming, to the 4th state of consciousness, which in India they call samadhi, which basically means steady mind, where the mind is no longer aware of thoughts or emotions or perceptions. Consciousness, the conscious mind has basically become pure consciousness.
It just is in that moment.
That's right. You're just being. You're essentially, your conscious mind has simply, and I say simply, but it's profound, has allowed itself to simply be. And in that being, great things take place.
Yes. And what's interesting about this is that leads us to manifestation. And talk about great things take place. It's not just within ourselves, but it's also without.
Mm-hmm.
When we have an intention that we are connected to, when we are comfortable in that beingness, we vibrate at a higher frequency. And the things that we are drawn to or that are drawn to us happen because of being within that state.
That's
so
right.
Wouldn't you say it's wise for someone to practice this type of meditation on a continual basis?
Yes, I would say it's extremely wise. And I of all the years that I've been meditating, I've missed, I think, 2 meditations. Now, I don't say that to pat myself on the back. I say it because you're going to come right through the computer screen and pat me on the back. Okay. So essentially, it's because of the practical benefits. I mean, I can't tell you how many mothers I've taught meditation to who've told me that when they skip a meditation or 2, their children tell them it's time to meditate, because the children can tell that the mother has lost that serenity. She's got a little more edge, a little bit more tense. So yeah, I mean, the results are immediate.
Okay, so again, it's profound, and it's something that we should do on a regular basis. Now, you have a website, and you have books, and you also do life coaching, which I know you have different programs. Some are focused more in one area than another, but I know that you also help individuals learn how to really develop their meditation skills. If somebody wanted to read up a little bit on that before they called you, where would you tell them to seek you out?
Well, on my website, which is CarrieBayer.com, I'll spell that. It's CarrieBayer.com. You'll see a drop-down menu there. And if you go to meditation, you'll see there are several drop-downs which will talk about how meditation works, what the benefits are, my background, and so forth.
Okay, beautiful. I always want to get that in early on, because I hate for us to run out of time and go, oh, by the way, the website is, because that's not good.
Sure.
Now, when it comes to doing classes and programs, do you prefer larger groups, smaller groups, and why?
Well, with regard to meditation, I mean, prior to the advent of Skype and Zoom, I used to teach meditation only in person, of course. But these technologies have enabled me to teach people in Australia and, California and, all different, France and so forth. So the answer to your question is really any size. I mean, the beautiful thing about meditation is this is such a lifelong work that I've done. I mean, I've been a life coach since 2001, but I've been a meditation teacher for decades before that. So it's something I'll do probably till the day I die. That's to say, if I have somebody to teach on that day. But so I mean, I'll teach large groups. I'll teach small groups. I'll teach one person as well, just because it's something that I have seen has so much value that I want to share it. And it's easy to learn too. It's learned really over the course of 3 consecutive days for about a total of about 6 hours. So it's really easy to learn.
Okay, so I have to share something here because you were saying about how you were teaching meditation before you became a life coach. However, if you were teaching meditation, you were a life coach.
In a different way, though, really, because I mean, in a manner of speaking, I mean, I see coaching as fairly distinct from meditation. Meditation is a specific practice. It's done for 20 minutes at a time, twice a day. Life coaching really involves the learning of different tools. Now, their goals are similar, of course.
Yes. And here was my point, that even if you weren't creating a formal structure for someone with those specific tools, through meditation, without even being told to make certain changes, one automatically tends to make changes. And an example would be many years ago when I taught over Nova and I had a meditation class, I had a gentleman who came in who was a chauffeur. And he came because he would scream and yell and slam his hand on the steering wheel, which is really not good when you're driving somebody around, right? Anyway, he's in the class, and 6 weeks later, he comes over and he says, "Can I talk to the class?" Sure. I figure something must have happened that he wanted to share. And he gets up and he says, "I have to tell you, without anybody telling me to behave myself through meditation, I just found that I wasn't angry. Through meditation, I had more patience. Through meditation, I started seeing the world differently." And this is why I said, when you began meditation, you began also being a life coach, not in the formal sense of being a life coach with specific directions, but you ignited, if you will, the same principles that you use in coaching without even having to try. And I truly believe, Carrie, that when we teach meditation, we give people those tools. It makes a massive difference in their life if they do what you were saying, actually use it twice a day. Now, I always tell people, and I would think that you're probably in like mind here, that if they can't do twice a day, do once a day. If they can't do 20 minutes, get in 10 minutes or even 7 minutes, just start the practice. Would you agree with that?
I'll give you a half a yes on that, only because it's kind of like saying, when you go to sleep at night, when you charge your phone, will you charge your phone for only maybe 2 hours, or will you charge it all night? If it's
depends
like,
on if I go to sleep at midnight or if I go to sleep at 6 in the morning.
If it's at 5% when you go to sleep, would you set an alarm at 2 hours and take it out of its charge? No, it needs a full charge to operate and do all the things you need the next day. Sleep helps give most people, a beneficial rest from the fatigue of the previous day. What meditation does, because it goes deeper than sleep, in terms of the levels of restfulness and relaxation that it produces, it has the tendency to remove deeper rooted stresses that have been, tying us up in knots for decades. And so, I say to people, when you ask a question, should you meditate once rather than twice? I would also counter it by saying, how many meals do you eat a day? Most people eat 3.
There, I knew you were going to.
Well, you could eat 1 also. I mean, you can, but
it's sustenance, right? Is it not? Whether it's food or it's energy connecting to the divine, it has to do with our ability to have the proper sustenance.
We live in a very, very weird world, and a very stressed world, and people are frightened and stressed out in so many ways. Sleep helps people cope. If you deprive a person of sleep for enough time, they're going to neurotic, even psychotic, tendencies. Like that, if you deny people that experience of the 4th state of consciousness, that deep, restful alertness, that pure consciousness, there's going to be a greater tendency to suffer. And so I'm linking suffering to the absence of the experience of the 4th state of consciousness. You can see why I don't want to answer the question by saying 7 minutes. That's nothing.
I was just thinking we may debate this off air at some point.
Say it again?
Into a whole tangent with that. So we may have to debate this off air at some point.
Fine. That's fine. Yeah, 7 minutes is better than nothing, of course.
That's it. Well, it gets exactly. Here's my thinking. You have to crawl before you run. Some people find it difficult, even with your methodology that is so simple. Sometimes that old programming runs through their head. And it's like, well, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could sit. You can talk yourself out of anything. However, you can do anything for a short period of time. So that's where I come from when I say, if somebody just begins with a few minutes, that makes a difference.
Right.
That said,
we will discuss this off air. But I see your point. I get your point.
Okay, give everybody your website again, and also, if you would, whatever phone number somebody can call you on to get in touch, to book an appointment, to schedule private sessions, or to attend a workshop, in addition to the website. It's
CarrieBayer.com. That's CarrieBayer.com. And you'll see a drop-down menu for meditation there. My phone number is, in the United States, is 845-664-1883. My email address is carriebayer22@gmail.com.
Okay. I didn't ask for the email. That was a bonus.
As Groucho Marx said, bring your dog around. I'll give him a bonus too.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so we have just a moment or two. If there were one thing that was truly, truly insightful about meditation that you could share, what would that one thing be?
I would say that it is absolutely without effort. It is easy to do, and you will be amazed at how many really delightful things show up in your life as a result of doing this simple, easy practice twice a day.
Perfect. One more time, your website, Carrie, and then we have to say goodnight, unfortunately.
CarrieBayer.com, and the next free intro talk I'm giving is on July 10th at 9 o'clock Eastern Time in the United States. If you're interested, you can contact me, and I'll give you the Zoom information.
Perfect. I'm so glad you could join me this evening, and I know we have a talk very soon. Thanks, Dave.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com, or Moonstruck.tv. This is Understanding Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Understanding Spirit. I hope you're all enjoying your week. I'm going to get straight into it because when I was shuffling my cards, I have a lot of cards that fell out for my caller, so I want to try to get to everything. So as every week, I ask everyone to tune in to a card, choosing from 1, 2, or 3. All right. So I'll give you a hot second to think about that. And I'm going to start now with the first card. The first card that I've got for pile 1 is this one. It's the Crystal Cave. All right. This is about trusting your intuition. The cave is also a place of where we can go and feel safe and hide. It can also represent, the womb. So it's just really about having faith in yourself, knowing that you're divinely guided now, even if something doesn't make sense, and you have doubts, just tread cautiously and just, try to move forward in that area. Listen to advice from others, I'm being told, but at the end of the day, trust your instincts. It's a time, this card is drawn to support that card, and it's just a time to celebrate you moving forward in this area, all right? And just know that you're worthy and capable of trusting your gut and your intuition, all right? And just follow that, releasing any negative feelings and stuff like that, okay, that you may be experiencing. All right. The next card, pile 2, if you pick that, the owl spirit here, and the owl comes with a lot of wisdom. And it's also, if you've picked this card, you're the kind of person that likes the truth, is a truth seeker, probably quite spiritual, and likes to share what they've learned, okay? So the owl is just showing that you can access all that inner wisdom. I'm also being shown that you can access a lot of it, like at night through your dreams. So if you don't remember your dreams, ask your guide to show them to you either when you're awake or through messages during the day, so that you can move forward with any ideas and that you might have for yourself, right? I'm also feeling that it's time now for you to kind of like rise up and really come up with, into your own, and don't let other people's opinions influence you. So maybe in the past, as you've been growing up, if anyone has made you feel like you weren't smart enough, just it's time to let that go, all right? And the card that came in is do what you need to do. May be difficult, but now is the time. Okay, so just move forward with all of that. If you've picked pile 3, the first card is this card. It's the Bluebird Spirit, and it's time to be happy. And to your life purpose is about being happy, no matter what goes on in your life, or no matter what bad people, situations come your way. Draw the good things out of it and focus on that. You can manifest whatever you want if you continue to vibrate in that level of happiness. And I'm just getting that the happiness that flows through you freely and effortlessly. That's what you need to affirm to yourself, all right? That I manifest my happiness and I allow it to flow freely and effortlessly through me, all right? So just stay in that vibration, and everything else in your life will take care of itself. So no matter what you want, whatever difficult situation you have, it will take care as long as you're vibrating higher rather than lower, and you're not allowing negative people, negative energy to come into your life, okay? So I hope that makes sense for people. Just take it as it resonates, because it is a collective reading. It could also be something that might come up in the future for you if it doesn't make sense right now, or it could be an affirmation for what may have happened in the past, affirming that you've made the right decisions for yourself, or to look at something differently. Okay, now I think I've got Nikki on the line. Nikki, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I was just saying at the beginning that I had a lot of cards flying out when I was shuffling. So I'm going to talk real fast like a crazy person, so I can try to get to all of my reading for you. Now, how can I help you today?
I'm just looking for a general of where I'm headed for my life purpose.
Okay, all right. Now, Nikki, are you in a relationship right now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, what I'm getting, I'm just going to look at all these cards and make sense of everything for you, all right? Are you having any difficulties around that relationship?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So they've all come up for you. So I don't know if there's like restrictions around that. If there's any with this person, there could be sort of like whether they have any mental health issues or any addictions, or whether they're just sort of like quite overwhelming and very dominating. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
All right. A lot of that, and they want what they want. Okay. And they kind of rule the roost like they're the king of the house. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of that is going to end for you. There's going to be a huge shift and a transformation. I feel like there is also control there with your finances, and it's just become like a routine for you now. Your life is like very much like that every day. Does that make sense?
Right, it does a lot.
Okay, all right. Now, moving forward, you've got to find a balance for yourself, all right? You've got to kind of like get yourself out of it. Whether you choose to stay in this relationship or not is entirely up to you. However, Spirit do want you to start moving forward, manifesting things for yourself to make you happy. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
All right. Now, have you already started to do that, or are you haven't worked towards what you want yet for yourself?
I'm trying to work on what I want for myself, but it keeps one thing after another keeps getting in the way.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a male in spirit? He's like father, grandfather, father figure. Does that make sense for you? Okay, he's forward, right? I don't know if you had I started coughing when I started like tuning into you. So I don't know if you had a cough before he passed, or you've got a cough, but I heard him saying there's that niggly cough again. Does that make sense for you?
It does, and he did.
Okay, all right, good. Now he's got a message for you. The message is, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. Okay, so I'm going to read it out. The message is, your wisdom is infinite. Just trust yourself. You know what to do, all right? And he's making me feel like he taught you better. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, did he used to, because he was singing a lullaby, so I don't know if he used to sing to you when you were younger, but I could hear that song. It could be just a message in the song, but it was the Mockingbird song, and the part that I could hear was, hush little baby, don't you cry, Daddy's going to buy you a mockingbird. Does that make sense?
Yes, he did used to sing that a lot.
Okay, all right, so he's with you and he's watching over you. He's going to guide you out of this. All right. I also wrote down a message. Okay, now he said to me, I told you not to trust him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
In regards to my father.
Yeah, and he's saying, be patient, all will work out. And he's also told me, if you can't beat them, join them. And that message was play him at his own game. Okay, does that make sense for you?
Definitely him. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And he's also told me to tell you, you can't have everything in life, but you can get the knowledge to go and get it. And just trust in that. Some people, things just come to them, and other people got to work hard for them. What he's saying, you have to work towards everything, all right? Your father is coming in quite strong, quite stable, and he wants you to go back to like the beginning in a sense. Work on studying, learning something for yourself. You will be victorious here, okay? You will be fulfilled, have hope in your life, tune into your spirituality and ask for assistance. He is guiding you. Do you have children?
I have 2.
Yeah, okay. So, you know, because he's highlighting the motherhood for you. So it would be either you're going to have them or you have them. I'm also seeing, Nikki, you know, you decide whether you want to stay with this person or not, but there is a male that is coming forward for you. You're going to be very happy. You're going to get everything that you want. You're going to defeat this person and be in a better situation. So any restriction that you've had around you, you have to release it, but you have to be active yourself in doing it, okay? But ask your dad to assist you. He's going to pave the way for you to move forward. What you have to do is work on yourself, on your finances, how to get yourself out of there, plan for it. You will be the winner here. Just say, Dad, help me, and just look for the signs, okay? He's going to guide you out with you every step of the way, Nikki, all right? So just trust and move forward with your life.
Okay.
All right, don't be afraid to walk away.
That's where I'm torn, whether to stay or go.
There's a nice man coming up for you, all right? Have faith, your dad's going to get him for you.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Psychic Paths with Suzanne Marie. Live from PsychicPaths.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Psychic Paths
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. I am Suzanne, and I'm here to do some readings. I am a clairvoyant and a light trance medium. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. I am ready to get a reading going. I wanted to say that all the astrological things that have been going on in June and late May, they are continuing, and they are helping us balance what we need to do to benefit ourselves and in our relationship. And this should continue for the next couple months where we're being affected. But like I say, it's to benefit ourselves So whatever does not resonate or benefit us in any way anymore is removed. That's our job, to become better human beings. So with that, I hope that everyone is feeling loved and cared about and safe. Hello, we have Lynn in Orlando, Florida. Hello.
Yes. Hello,
Hi,
how are you doing
tonight?
tonight?
I am good. It is summer in Minnesota. And we are just done with tornadoes for a little bit. So it's a time to go out and enjoy. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Absolutely great tonight.
Good, good. What can I help with tonight?
I guess, want to see if you see like a career change or a move or...
Okay. Hang on and let me see what I can pick up. What I had picked up when you were talking was you are looking in a different direction. You are looking for something different. Now, I couldn't pick up if that was a move or if that was a job, but it feels like you're being prepared for a change. I think that you feel like there's a change coming. So with that, let me see what Spirit says. Oh, you're on the fence. Spirit says you're on the fence about a change. I feel, and this is what I get from Spirit, I feel from Spirit that there will be a time before 2025 for a career change. It may be in the same company, but it feels like you're looking for something more focused on what you can give and what they can give as wages. And it may not be right on your mind now, but I think by September it will be. You really, what I'm getting from Spirit is you're really, really good at what you do. And I guess a person whispers in your ear that you are worth more than what the company is doing for you. So that just kind of piques your interest.
Okay.
And when you asked me about the changes. I just feel like you're kind of wishy-washy on any changes. Like you are okay for the moment. But at the same time, you wouldn't mind a change in these areas. But I do feel a wibbly wobbly kind of maybe not. Maybe when it happens, because we're always ready for change until it happens, and then it's a lot of work.
True. That's true.
What I feel about your housing is something's going to get renovated. I feel a renovation or a change, the structure, something to that effect, but not completely a move. You have in your mind a focus. You have a certain idea of what you would like, and you've been thinking of that. You can't tell me you're not knowing exactly what you want when it comes to where you live, because I'm picking that up very strongly, that you've been manifesting, in fact, what you want as far as where you're living. And I'm able to tell you that from Spirit that you will manifest what you want. It's a go. Because whatever you put your mind on the longest is what you attract. And you're attracting new housing the way you want it. It's where you want it. It's how you want it. So that's what Spirit says, is that by the end of, I would say by the end of the year, you will be attracting a new home.
Great. I'm ready.
And as far as the other things go, with the housing, they're saying not to fret over how you get it, because it's going to work out, like the loan or the mortgage, or all the people and things that are involved with it, with the moving. Everything is going to go in the direction to get you to what you need. That's what Spirit said.
Okay, thank you.
Can you tell me what you're looking for? Because I see you searching, and I'm not quite sure what you're searching. But okay, so I had a little voice tell me peace or contentment or quiet.
Yeah, peace and content. All three.
Okay. Let me see that for a minute. So Spirit is telling me things, and one of the things it says is your response. Excuse me. Your response to a situation. So you're not responsible for what other people do as far as the behavior or their actions, but you are responsible for your behavior. And so Spirit tells me that when I speak to Spirit about peace, contentment, and quiet. Let me see what else. They're also telling me that you've learned a great lesson. Somehow you have completed a lesson. And I can say that 6 months ago you weren't completing it, but now it's complete. That there's something that you have learned that, because Spirit said, great job, pat on the back. You've grown. You have grown so much, and they are so proud of you with that. So that too is what I'm being told. Don't underestimate also that Spirit is with you all the time, and Spirit is guiding you and there. So there are times when you feel alone or as if you've got a long way to go, and you don't. You're not alone, and you do not have a long way to go. Spirit is with you, and what you have completed is what they're telling me, monumental, if I said that right. Good job. Good job. Is there anything else you would like to ask me?
I think what you were saying was very accurate. Yeah, I guess at this time I'm wanting to get back to doing something I used to do, which is more of the spiritual work and teaching.
Okay.
I'm ready now, I think, because of that healing that I did.
I think so too. That's what I see. I see that did you take a time out or a time away in order to do the healing? Okay, because that's very important as a healer, as a counselor, as myself, that when we find out that we got stuff to deal with, that we stop and we do what we need to do in order to be a help to other people. You did the right thing right there, too.
Yeah.
Are you motivational? Because I see you just really motivated in what you're doing and saying.
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I see that. I see that you will be doing that shortly, like right around the corner. I give that a good 3 months before winter. And I feel like you're attracting the right people. There will be people who are attracted to what you have to give and share. And that should happen right away. I'm not going to say that you'll be doing it within the next 3 months, but there's a lot of energy out there that's saying it's the right time and the right place to get that going. Okay. Because I don't see you have any bad residue. I think you've done great. And I think that there's going to be some people who are going to need that lesson. Whatever you have gone through, you're going to share and help a great amount of people. That's what I see.
My life has been based around that. As I go through something, then I have to help others with the same situation. Mm-hmm.
We can't help it.
I know. That way you go through no judgment for someone else. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, how do you know? Well, for heaven's sake, I'm talking from experience. So I think that you're going to do very, very well. I think this next year is going to be very, very wonderful for you. I think good things are coming your way in abundance. Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to share tonight. I appreciate that.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for your time to shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Julie Yeager-Walker, live from wingsofsoulswithjulie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our
websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is your time to shine on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, and welcome to the show tonight. I'm so happy to have you here. Happy summer solstice. We are actually a day ahead, actually 18 hours, and I can't remember, I was just looking this up. It's 18 hours and 45 minutes early. And it hasn't been this early since 1796. Can you believe that? That's crazy. It always lands on the 21st of June. And this year it is early. It has to do with the rotation of the Earth. It has to do with the leap years. There was all kinds of information that I was looking at as I was thinking, seems to be that we're a little bit early, and we are. So here we are today. Full sun here in the Pacific Northwest. It is warm, like 91 degrees. So summer came in with a blast on this summer solstice evening. And so it was interesting to hear what different ones do on summer solstice nights. I know I used to go with a group of people, and we would write out our intentions for the year or for the 6 months. And we would do a burning ceremony. It was so wonderful and magnificent and fun. And I really enjoyed those days. I won't be doing that tonight. However, I may do it just by candlelight. Too warm to go outside and build a fire. But the summer solstice is just about that, right? It's about bringing in the fire, bringing in the light, and celebrating and manifesting, looking at what we intend to plant and to grow over the summer. And so it's a really important time to get clear on your intentions, on what you want to see. It's all about, new beginnings. And of course, spring is about new beginnings, and then it just cultivates into the summer. So that keeps moving forward and then coming into the summer solstice so that you can basically magnify that with the summer solstice. So like I said, I was with groups that would get together every summer solstice and every winter solstice, actually. Great way to bring in your intentions of all the things that you plan on doing in the next few months. And so however you plan your summer solstice, I hope you do it with intention and you do it with excitement and vibrance. To bring that into your life, and knowing that, probably next year we will be back to June 21st with our summer solstice rather than celebrating a day early. But here we are celebrating the summer, celebrating the new beginnings. And I am so ready. It's fantastic. So I plan on doing a little bit of writing, a little bit of intention setting this evening to bring all of that together. So I hope you're doing the same. I hope you are looking at what all of those things are for yourself. Do a little ceremony, whatever that looks like for you, whether you write it out and you do a burning ceremony, or whether you just sit in meditation and offer up your intentions, whatever that looks like for you. I hope it is fantastic and exciting for you to see what happens in the next few months. So with that, we are going to head over to the phone lines. We're going to get right to it tonight. I feel this just vibration in the air. So we're going to get right to it. We have Deanna in Puerto Rico. Good evening, Deanna, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Thank you, thank you.
Hi, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I am good, thank you. What can I do for you this evening?
I would like, I would say a media reading.
Yes. Is there a specific question that you would like to know about?
Whatever, my mom passed, and whatever she would want to tell me.
Okay. All right. Well, let's find out what is being brought through for you this evening, Deanna. I'm just going to take a moment here to check in. And as I do that, there'll just be a little moment of silence. And then I will be right back with you, okay?
Okay.
All right, Deanna. What I keep hearing is intentions, intentions, intentions. Actually, we were just talking about the summer solstice and the new beginnings and the manifestations, and I just keep hearing intentions, intentions, and then you writing down all of your intentions and your manifestations, almost like you're writing them in a book or a journal. And so your guides are very excited. It's like there is a great buzz around you. It's like you have so many great intentions and manifestations, and it's about you getting them down on paper and actually manifesting those. Because I'm being shown that you're a very good manifester and you've got so many ideas that are flowing through you. To me, it almost feels a little overwhelming because there's so many, there's so many thoughts and ideas that you have. It's like your creative juices are really, really going right now. And so they're saying this is the optimal time for you to start bringing those in and start acting on them. I'm asking to, I keep hearing career change, career change. Are you looking into not just switching jobs, but switching what you do? Looking into doing something completely different?
Yes, I recently changed my course to something completely different.
Okay. How is that going for you?
It's going wonderful.
Good. Yeah, I can feel the excitement with it. So they're wanting you to know that, that you are doing the right thing, that you're on the right path. So if you had any doubts, they are wanting you to know that no, you're doing the right thing.
Okay.
I'm seeing what else they're bringing through. One moment.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that they're bringing through is they just keep saying happy, 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 happy. So what they're showing me is that you've gone through kind of a period of almost this stagnation in your life, and you've gotten through all of that. And now it's like you feel this just this great joy, right? Because you kind of got through that period that was just so heavy and stagnant. And they're wanting you to rejoice in that, because what you went through were some big trials and tribulations, and they're wanting you to realize what you went through and look at where you are now, right? Kind of taking stock, because once we get through kind of a tough time and you get through that, then it's time to go back and reflect and say, okay, so what did I learn from that? What was the reason for it? And what are the good things that come out of it? Because we as humans have a tendency to think about all the negative things or the bad things that happen in a situation, especially if it's not a real fun situation that we're going through. And so they're asking you just to sit and reflect with that and say, wow, okay, here were the good things that came out of it, even though that was a real rough patch. And really rejoice in that.
Okay.
Okay. They're showing me something with fishing. I don't know if that's literal fishing or if it's that you're fishing for something in your life.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I'm fishing for something in my life.
Okay. All right. Does the fishing in life have anything to do with a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're showing me a big fish on the other end of your line. So I'm deducting that the relationship that you're looking for is going to be granted, is going to be fruitful for you. It's going to be one that brings a smile to your face and some laughter and joy into your heart. They say you've been waiting for somebody like this for quite some time. And this is going to be something that you're going to feel is worthwhile.
Okay.
I'm also hearing that this is something that is just going to happen in your life. It's just going to kind of, what they say, magically appear. It's not really something that you're going to have to go looking for particularly. So it's like they're showing me it's that seed that you planted, right, for the manifestation. And so it's about being open to receiving. That's a big one, right? Because we can manifest all these fantastic things in our life. And if we aren't open to the receiving of it when it shows up, then we can miss it. So what I'm being shown is to make sure that you're really open to receiving what comes to you. Because there's, even though you've manifested this and you want it, there's a little bit of a hesitation. So they're saying that you kind of need to clear those blocks and really find out why you're hesitating. And it has something to do with a past relationship that you've had that's making you a little bit timid about this new person coming in. And so if you're not 100% ready to receive, then it's not going to happen, or that person that's coming in could get missed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So they're saying be ready for when it happens. Okay.
Okay.
And I feel like it's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. Like, it's like I'm hearing the wait is over. So, yeah. So just be open to what comes through.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any questions that you have from the information I've given you?
No, you basically answered them all.
I love it when that happens. I'm just checking in. They're bringing something else in. One moment.
Okay.
They're showing me that you have a lot to be grateful for. And yes, you recognize all of the joy and the gratitude. And they're wanting you to recognize it even more, right? Really hone in on some of the things that you're grateful for, even if they're just the smallest thing, right? Being in that place of gratitude and joy is also going to help you, and being shown to allow your heart to open up and this receiving to come in. So as you focus more and more on the good things, your heart's going to open up a little bit more to allow you for that receiving.
Okay.
And they just keep saying gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, that sounds exciting. I'm just checking in to see if there's any last minute things they have to say here.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just saying carry on and keep moving and moving forward in the direction. Don't look back too much at the past. However, if you do, start looking at all of the things, like pick out all the things that has happened and use that as knowledge to keep moving forward.
Okay.
Okay.
Will do.
Are there any other questions that you have for me this evening?
No, that would be all.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Deanna, for giving us a call, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Happy summer solstice.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Our next caller, we have Nicole in Massachusetts. Good evening, Nicole, and welcome to Your Time to Shine. Oh, I think we're getting Nicole back. So all of the wonderful things, that's a really important message that Spirit brought through in that last caller is, for all of us to remember that when we're going through a rough time, if we're going through something, that it's really important to reflect back on what that is, what we've learned, and how far we've come, because we each go through things in our lives. And when you're in the middle of the yuck, you don't want to sit and reflect. You just want to be able to get through it. And so it's really important that after you get through it and you get to the other side and you can look at it with fresh eyes, it's really important to do that. Reflect and look at what you have learned and put it in your path forward so that you can say, oh, I remember what happened in a situation like this before. This is how I handled it. Let's see what we can do with this. It's very rewarding and very important. It helps us move through things a lot quicker. All right. It looks like we have Nicole from Massachusetts back on the line. Good evening, Nicole, and welcome to Your Time to Shine. Uh-oh, I think we lost her again. We'll wait for a minute as she comes back. So going back to, the things that we learn, there's so many reasons why we learn things and why we go through things in life. And you might not understand it as you're going through it. And just know that there's a reason for it. There's somebody that has a higher power and a higher knowing than us, has a bigger blueprint than us. And it's a matter of how we can get through it, right? That old saying that we're only given as much as we can handle. And I know from personal experience, I've said this before. It's like, okay, I have just about had enough. Can't handle anymore. I think I've hit my limit. You can kindly stop now, right? And so it really is about, what we are here to learn in this life. I've told people in the past, I feel like my little soul, when it incarnated and came into this world, it's almost like that movie, and I don't remember what movie it is, but it's the gal in high school and she's a freshman and she signed, or maybe it's college. She's going across the board and she's just adding her name to everything that she can, that she can sign up for, whether it be clubs or after school activities or whatever. And so it's about, it was like signing up for everything. And I'm like, oh man, my little soul signed up for every single one of those boards. So you might feel like that in life, but know that you can all get through it because this is what we signed up for, and you can all do it and get through it. All right, we have a new caller on the phone. We have Lauren from New Hampshire. Good evening, Lauren, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi, thank you so much. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. What can I do for you this evening?
I was just wondering, I mean, I'm open to anything, but I was just hoping to do like a mediumship connection.
Okay. Perfect. Let me see what I can bring through. Unless there's someone that you're specifically looking for, I usually get messages from all over. I get them from loved ones and guides and that type of thing.
I mean,
so I can.
I guess.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you want me to give you somebody?
That's only if you're looking for someone to speak with specifically. Otherwise, I can just bring through the messages that you're needing to know right now.
Okay. I mean, if you could, if it's possible, I would like to connect with my grandmother, Elizabeth, but if it doesn't happen, that's fine too.
Okay. Do you have a specific question? Because I know we're coming down towards the end of our show. So, okay. All right. Well, let me tune in here and see if I can bring your grandmother in and see what she has to say. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Lauren, your grandmother has a really big energy. I don't know if that's the way she was in real life or if that's how she's just presenting herself now. But
yeah.
She had big energy. It was beautiful, beautiful energy and beautiful love. And the two of you really had a real connection. And it's like I see the two of you a lot in the kitchen, baking, creating, and doing things. And she just wants you to know that she is with you all the time. I mean, it's like she never leaves your side.
Well, that's good.
She's showing me that you have felt her presence, and you kind of brush it off as, oh, I really didn't feel that. I really didn't, hear that song, and she's like, you need to realize that you are feeling her, you are hearing her, you are getting that connection, and she just wants you to know that it's real. Okay.
Right.
And she says, don't brush it off, because it's her way of coming to you to say that she's here and that she's supporting you. I see her like grabbing your arm and holding onto it and saying, I'm right here. I'm just right here. And so, and she's saying that you can call on her anytime that you are needing that, that support. So that she can come through even bigger and brighter for you and show you that she's here to support you in all that you do. She's saying even with matters of money, she says she is here for you. She's kind of like on the other side, like your money matters, right? So when you're needing some support on something, ask her for support. Ask her to bring that through for you, of whatever it is that you're needing, because she's got this little bag of coins and she's just like jiggling it around and she's saying, I am your money person. So to remember that.
Well, that's definitely good to know.
Yeah. And she's saying that, coming down to the last couple seconds of our show, so I'm trying to see if there's something that she's bringing through that she wants to tell you,
or anything. Oh, I mean, like anything I need to know.
Yeah, she's just saying that it feels like there's a little bit of hardship with the money, and she's saying that just to call on her that that you're getting through it. You may not feel like it, but you are getting through it and you're almost on the other side of this. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Well, Lauren, I have run out of time. I want to thank you so much for calling in this evening, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from Lady D's PsychicParties.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Astrology and Psychic Reading on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings, Lady D. I'm your host for the segment, Lady D. Hope you all have had an amazing week. So we have on the 22nd of June, we have the full moon in Capricorn. That is happening at 11:07 a.m. That is my time here in Sydney. So with this full moon energy in Capricorn, I do feel like it's going to be about restriction. It is going to be about law and order. I feel like it is also going to be about being organised, setting limitations or boundaries. We do have we have oppositions. So we have oppositions with Mercury and Venus, with the sun there in Cancer. So there could be some things coming up around to do with the family or the home when we're dealing with Cancer. Also, I feel like it's not going to be an over-emotionally full moon. If you're someone that gets affected by the moon, I don't feel like you'll feel very emotional because you go to Cancer, which is not a very emotional sign. They keep their emotions in. And as well as in Capricorn, it's again about keeping the emotions in. The Capricorns aren't really that emotional either. So I feel like it's a sense of keeping the emotions in, but I feel like there's a sense of being very sensible too. It's coming up. We do have a square to the moon and also Venus with Neptune, and I feel like that is going to bring up you're not wanting to have people play mind games with you or looking out for people who are trying to either like attach themselves or playing little tricks on you. I feel like that's going to really get you off edge with that for this week ahead, or with this full moon that's coming in. We do also have some sextiles. We've got a try to Mars and a sextile to Venus and Mercury to Mars, and I feel like that's going to really get you motivated to doing what you need to do. But also, I feel like it's about motivating yourself to set certain boundaries and limitations with people, being able to say no. What I've got for this week with that full moon energy, I've got here time to put things in perspective and in order. No time for playing mind games where I get that square with Neptune. Seeing things straight down the middle. So it's like black and white with Capricorn. Time to take a breath and to have a step back and get ready for big changes to come in. Set yourself free from limitations. And I feel like this with this full moon is going to bring about, like, you don't want to hear things about like nagging. You don't really want people who are nagging you. It is not a time to be stubborn, but Capricorns can be a little bit stubborn. I feel like it's not neglecting what needs to get done, expand knowledge, which equals power. And I do feel like it's going to bring up things like taking a stand. So you might having to like step up the plate, which you can do in that Capricorn energy. We've also got coming up this week, or with this full moon, there's a try to Mercury and Saturn that's bringing up. It's a try, so it's positive. So I do feel like it's about being able to think about how to get your way out of issues or problems that are coming up, making you feel very resilient, and you're talking your way out of certain issues. By the end of the week, we are going to have Venus, which is also going to be trying with the Mercury and Saturn there. So I feel like it's about being very resilient. Any issues financially that are coming up, or about relationships, you're able to talk your way through them or get through them with ease. You're being very creative in your problem-solving skills this week with that aspect as well. So what else have we got coming up here? It also could fill up this week, like the juggling act is happening up, like trying to juggle certain things around. I feel like that people that are sort of bugging you might be getting on your nerves this week, not to play the fool this week. I feel like you're very straight down the middle. Getting things done, getting yourself, I feel like it's going to be about all on time, like setting a timetable, being very structured, keeping yourself on time is very important this week. And I feel like it's not, don't let certain words or people that say certain things to you worry you. Like really like just brush them off this week. But I feel like the energies that are going to come in. So let's go to the caller. So we've got here the chit share in Cherie in Pennsylvania. So hi, Cherie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How can I help you today?
I was just trying to see if there was any messages from my parents about my kids and their health.
And you're in the house. Let's have a look here.
Yeah, their health.
Okay. I keep on getting, I feel like about the house, I don't feel like they want the house to be sold. Like they don't want a house to be sold, is what I'm getting. Your father, he could be quite, he's telling me, I feel like I've got a man here, he's telling me he could be quite stubborn. So I feel like your dad, quite stubborn. He does have, like, his hair, I feel like is short, very short. If he has hair, like it's very short. I get a sense, the way I see him is that like light coloured, like fair, like light coloured hair. Your mum as well, I get like quite fair as well. Her hair, I get like it's around more like above shoulders. But I do feel like there's a curl to her hair, and parted sort of in the side on the side. I do feel like with your mum, like she was very lovely. I feel like she liked to wear like a neutral lipstick. Like I see, like she showed me lipstick, but to me it's more like a neutral color. And I feel like she liked to wear clothes. Like she liked to wear clothes that were nice, but also at the same time like comfortable too. But I feel like she did look nice, but the clothes were also comfortable. They would fit nicely on her, because she would dress. She knew how to dress for herself. Because I feel like she's just showing me how she is. But I feel like that their house is very is important, especially to your mum. I feel like their house is very important to her too. Like I feel like she wants his house to be like shared. I feel like we want it to be shared around people. But are you going to sell the house? I feel like they keep on telling me about the house not being sold.
Not her house. My kids' health.
Oh, health.
The
okay.
health. Yeah.
Oh, health. Oh, okay. Okay. I still feel like they love their house though. They're still going. I feel like when it comes to their house, I do feel like they like their house. I feel like the house they had they liked their house.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
They did.
Oh, okay. So I keep on going on about the house. I was like, okay, it's not changing. Okay, your kids' health. Okay, is one of them got like a bit of a flu or like a cold or like sinus?
No, I don't think so. No.
I'm getting one. I feel like if they're not, I feel like they're going to get like a cold or flu. I see like a temperature with them, so I do feel like there is going to be like a cold or flu. So is it 3 kids altogether? But there's 2 that you're worried about.
There's 2 of them, but one that I'm more concerned about.
Okay. All right. Let's have a look. I do feel like one's highly intelligent. I keep on seeing a temperature with one of them. I just feel like I keep on seeing one has like, I keep on being seen like they have a high temperature. So I feel like one's going to get a high temperature.
Okay.
I also feel like there's this, like, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I just feel like that there could be like new treatment that's coming in for one. I feel like one is like I get like tired, lethargic as well.
Okay.
I also feel like one is a problem with a knee too. Problem with the knee. Yeah.
Okay.
There's one as well. Is one quite like active, like physical, like playing sport and things?
Yeah, they're very active.
Okay, because I see like playing sport and I just get knee. One has to be careful of the knee. Can I ask, what are you worried about? What's wrong with their health?
Just like blood work, it has been very abnormal for my youngest, and so it was just kind of worried about what's going on because the doctors really don't know.
Is it the one where it's like lethargic and tired?
What's that?
Like, is that the one that's like lethargic and tired? I see one like with no energy.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Look, they're not giving up. Like I don't see them. I feel like they're going to be. I feel they're going to be okay. I feel like the doctors are overlooking something here. As I said, I'm not a doctor, but I just feel like there's something that they're overlooking. I feel like there's something about certain like blood cells or the platelets or the blood cells. I also feel like that there's stomach issues also. I don't know if it's the same one, but stomach issues too that are coming up. I feel like you need to find someone that looks at everything and like either, so like as an example, in Australia here, if I wanted to find someone that like, there are certain doctors that say like a GP here looks at certain things. But if I go to a like holistic, someone that's more holistic, they might you got to pay for a test but it's more in depth, or they're going to look at different things a different way. So I feel like you need to find someone that's going to look at things either a different way or do maybe, I don't know how it works over there with certain tests. I just feel like the doctors you're going to, they're not listening to you, or they're just like going by their books, and there's something that's being overlooked. So I feel like you need to look at finding someone who's going to do the test, but look at things a different way, or look at something maybe that's more in depth. I feel like that this is something that you will be able to get answers to, and I feel like there is a sense. I feel like there is a sense of it being fixed too. I feel like that. I do feel like there's a lot of nutrients or vitamins, so I feel like the body's not absorbing. I just feel like that there needs to be like, if you can get some sort of like powder form, I think the body will absorb more like powder form in terms of like nutrients or vitamins too, which will also help as well. So I hope that helps you.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
That's okay. Thank you for calling in. Okay, everybody. If you want to contact me, you can. So as I say, we're not doctors. I can only tell people what I see, what I hear, and what I feel. So if you want to contact me for reading, you can. So my website is Lady D Psychic Parties, and my Facebook page is also Lady D Psychic Parties. My Instagram is Lady D Psychic, Lady S Psychic, and my TikTok is Lady D Psychic, and my YouTube channel is Lady D or Danielle Psychic. So I'll see you same time, same place next week. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.